Hello there, and welcome to the basement. Welcome to the Ahsoka Show review, not preview, review panel. We got Harris from M Cube over here,
Howdy,
and we
howdy.
got Scotty Hawk, video
What up?
game
How's it going?
enthusiast, first person shooter extraordinaire, Tarkov master ish.
I'm trying to learn. Many hours. What's
Yeah.
happening, man?
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. That's what's happening. We had a fire. Hey, Brooke, how you doing, man? Hey, Sci-Fi Quest. Say hello to Harris and Scotty, gentlemen.
What up? What up?
Howdy, howdy.
Because
Old
we are
Quest,
going,
my favorite insomniac Englishman.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, we're gonna just go over the finale. We're gonna talk about the whole show. Oh, you finished Breath of the Wild? Dope. And then we'll get sweaty. A little bit of, as Paul would say, three time.
Following your lead, babe.
Hey, David. Oh.
Yeah. I heard
Your
something.
mic is.
I think he's frozen.
Are you talking or is
frozen?
he out? Frozen.
Aaron, chilling.
Hear me now?
I can
Yes.
hear you now.
Hello.
Like the Verizon.
Hello.
There we go.
Bud.
We got movement.
Yeah.
Got a finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Outer Rim's getting.
There we go. Well, it's somewhere.
There he is.
It's somewhere. We're just not going to talk about it. Oh, Brooke says we're all right. Thank you, Brooke.
Yep. You were just cutting in and out a little bit. You're good now.
Appreciate it. Oh, cool. Yeah, so finale in and of itself, where you guys at with it overall? We'll get into specifics. Harris.
It was not what I wanted it to be. It had some really damn good moments, but it was underwhelming overall, and like narratively, it's not where I want a finale to be, per se. But there were some damn good moments. It just overall felt very underwhelming. I felt, and there were some of the fight sequences, like the first half of the fight sequences, I didn't really enjoy as much as I thought I should have, and the second half, especially Morgan Elsbeth, I thought that was whenever it kind of started picking up and doing really well. I'm kind of I don't know exactly what to feel with it, but it's just an underwhelming generally at the moment, I guess.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that, so that's not an unpopular opinion at the time.
Yeah,
Senior Hawk.
I'm
How about
opposite,
you?
man. I'm on the opposite end. I kind of feel like I see the greater vision of what Dave is doing, and it's linking to things that have been in the video games, which I'm also a super fan of. Most of the new characters they've added into that, as well as it all tying into like the High Republic. But I understand some problems and like cinematically and what's up with Anakin, a lot of unanswered questions. But I do have faith in Dave, who also, and like people don't realize that Mortis and like the father, son, daughter, all that stuff, that's George Lucas. Like George Lucas told them all about this during the Clone Wars, like sat everybody down, took them to school. And this was a piece of the Star Wars universe that no one had ever heard about before. So as long as it kind of ties to that and stays to the Mortis, like real tight to the Mortis stuff. But I think it's also going to link like maybe even Old Republic. Like, because if these are the gods that have been balancing everything, we could see like Balin keeps saying the beginning. So I'm just kind of like my expectations super high until they let me down. And, I understand shows can't tell me everything.
This just now occurred to me when Balin first the beginning. You think that somehow is going to translate into maybe Mangold's movie that he may or may not still.
That was the other thing too. It's like Dawn of the Jedi. Like, are they going to show us the Force like being discovered? These gods being discovered? No.
Yeah. It feels like it could be Old Republic. It could be like that Mangold film. I hope it would kind of tie into both in a way because we haven't really gotten like
Yeah.
really anything. We've got like hints of Old Republic, but we haven't got any like concrete like that's something that they would like to do.
No.
And honestly, I'm intrigued as hell with the High Republic, but I want me some Old Republic too. Like let's
No,
get
yeah,
there.
Disney
There's
Disney
room to
right now.
grow.
Disney is totally dick riding the High Republic right now. There's like no two ways about it. So, I mean,
It's an
they
interesting
brought
idea.
that one dude in from the High Republic and Survivor. Like all the books that are coming out are pretty much High Republic comics. So,
Survivor really gave me hope for High Republic, I think.
Yeah, the way
Yeah,
they
that-
kind
that
of
dude was a
tied it
pretty cool
all
character.
in too. Yeah, and the way that he was just tying it into like it was really more about the Zepho, which is crazy. The other part of the show that I think is overlooked a lot is this new hyperspace tech. This is the first time in our known galaxy that we're able to travel to other galaxies. This is something that they were able to do in the Old Republic, High Republic. It's like a lost technology, you know. All those conspiracy theories about how on Earth, like there was some advanced tech and now it's all like buried and lost and extinct. This is this stuff coming back to us. I think Thrawn could just take it, go home now. Like he has this possibility to return to his people. So
yeah.
I don't know.
He's got a deal to hold up first, it would appear. And as even Dooku found out, the Night Sisters are not to be fucked with.
Yeah.
So
true, man.
He's gonna be chilling with the Great Mothers, I think, for a minute at least. Anyway, at least till the ship gets unloaded.
Which just real quick, I feel so bad for Morgan Elsbeth. She single-handedly built the Eye of Sion, like worked her way up in the Imperial remnants, did all this stuff. Like she obviously thought the Empire probably was the bad people, so like the Separatists were the bad people, the Empire were the good people, kind of deal. So she didn't know that probably Sidious took her out, did all this stuff, and just gets kind of like tossed away as a pawn.
You see it in her face, bro. You see it in her face when he's like,
just a sword of Talzin. Like that just doesn't happen, you know? Like,
well, when Thrawn's like gives her this final order, she's like, "Oh shit, I'm not going with you, am I?" Damn.
It was my face that was like, I should have expected this. I don't know what I actually did expect, but I have to do it nonetheless. It was like,
I mean, on the other hand, it is Thrawn, and while like he wasn't given a massive opportunity to like really smack us in the face with his intellect, the fact that he'd be like, okay, you know, all right, you did all these things, I commend you, and now you go sacrifice yourself because we got to get the fuck out.
Sayonara.
I mean, and that's how that dude works. He is cold and he's calculated, and he's like the ultimate bean counter, basically, if you think about it. Like he sets everything up, does his calculations to figure out what's going to work out best for him, and then does it without, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I hope he has I hope he has a plan for Force users. Like I hope he's got like a Jorah Sabaoth. People keep talking about the heir to the Empire stuff.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's probably also another reason he's got the Great Mothers around too, because their dark magic is a form of the Force. So, where did it go? Oh, yes, this one right here. We will get there, Sci-Fi Quest. We will get there. I've got my own explanation. I don't know what these two are going to say about it, but I've got my own. We'll get there though. I promise.
We shall.
What's going on here? Taylor Smith's down with you, Mr. Hawk. He likey.
Yeah, man. The Lord of the Rings stuff too is like an epic, bro. Like if the whole second season is just them on that planet discovering like shit from the past, like way back, season 2 could be crazy.
Great.
Could be crazy.
Yeah, they're probably still going to split time though between the galaxies, but it'll probably be more of an even split, I would think, or slightly Ahsoka heavy, because they're not going to give us a season 2 of just Peridia and just have Thrawn chilling on Dathomir for an entire fucking season. He's going to.
Right.
At a minimum, he's got to be with the Shadow Council that we saw at the beginning of Mando season 3. At a minimum, he's got to be like, "I'm here," and they all go. Especially Hux, because we all know that line of people is a bunch of bitches.
bro. And the way I always bring up the way they took out Hux's dad.
Yeah.
It was Sloane and Hux. They poisoned this man, and it like literally dissolved him.
Wow.
Yeah, slowly. It was not okay.
Nice acid bath
Man,
from the
they took
inside.
him out
Yeah,
worse
dude,
than,
not cool.
worse than Joffrey. And Joffrey
Yep.
looked like he suffered a pretty decent amount, which
But
I enjoyed
that-
every last nanosecond of.
Precisely.
I mean, I
That was the
commend
guy
that.
that
I
we saw
commend
in the
that kid
Shadow
actor
Council,
for
too.
playing. Oh no shit!
Sorry. Yeah.
I got to commend the kid that played Joffrey though. He acted
Mm-hmm.
that part so convincingly. It makes me wonder about him in real life.
Well, he hasn't acted
yeah,
since,
I
right?
hate that kid with a passion.
Because people
I have
actually
no
like
idea.
hated
Not
him
sure.
so much, and they kept calling him Joffrey on the streets.
Oh, no.
Didn't he like stop acting?
Oh no, not another one.
Maybe I don't know, but maybe for a minute, yeah.
I'm
Mm.
pretty
He
positive.
probably just went to like he probably went to like smaller stage productions, some shit like
Pretty
that.
sure he went to like college. Just like finally did his normal life, I guess.
Oh no, college wouldn't do him any good. There's no way in hell college. Oh, there he is. We have our fourth. We can now finish
Oh.
this and fill the screen.
What up?
Justin.
Addy.
What's
Drinking a
happening,
little
guy?
wine, you know?
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
What's up, guys?
Here
Chilling.
Much.
we go. Here we fucking go.
How's my
It's
mic?
all right.
You know, how's it
I'll just
sounding?
switch to this one.
Good.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Sounds
it
good.
sounds a lot better than last time. You're coming through as clear as you do on normal streams.
Good.
You do with Kendall. Yeah. All right, so we haven't really gotten too far into the episode yet. I'm just starting with the finale itself, then we'll get into the show overall. We haven't gotten very far. So, just real quick, your overall thoughts on the finale.
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you-
all kind of been.
You just got here.
Okay. Yeah. It was all right. I mean, it wasn't anything amazing, wasn't terrible. I like what they're setting up for the future. There's only like a couple things that kind of grinded my gears a little bit, but other than that, not too bad. I think I'm tied between like a 7 and a 7.5. I'm leaning more toward the 7.5, but yeah.
I'm kind of with you.
That wasn't bad. It wasn't
I
bad, but
actually
it's
gave that
just
pup.
a little weird. A little weird pace.
Yeah. And no, I actually gave that puppy an 9, and that's it did have its flaws. There's a couple of things I was like, what why? But why? But just a few, just a couple here and there. Not much. Not enough for me to drop below a 9. Overall, I love that motherfucker. So I thought that was pretty dope. How far did we actually get? Because there are some digressing ass motherfuckers. Yeah. Yeah. I've been trying to shove Mando
I'm
season
with you.
3 out of my mind, Brooke. So thanks for that. Huh?
I said I'm with you.
I've been trying. I've been trying to forget that fucking season. But
Hmm.
so I've heard a lot of people complain about how Thrawn was underwhelming and underused. Where you guys at with that one?
I mean, I feel like as far as his appearances, even in Rebels, like he is in Rebels, but he is the same kind of appearance. Like a lot of behind the scenes and the moments that you see him, his words are very important. I don't think he was overused, which I think would have been worse. So I don't know.
Okay.
And he
There it
crushed
is.
it. Every line was terrifying.
Harris,
I agree with that.
you looked like you were ready to say something. That's the only reason I'm calling.
Well,
you
yeah,
in.
no, I saw a meme the other day that cracked me up. It was like Thrawn from the original Zahn trilogy, which was like the 3-level chess, you know. Then
Yeah,
there was Thrawn with like the new trilogy, and then it was just a normal chess game. Then there's Thrawn and Rebels with checkers, and then there's Thrawn and this, and it was just like tic-tac-toe kind of deal. And you're like, okay, that kind of makes sense to a degree, and that's kind of how they're utilizing him. He's nowhere near as smart as he should be, but also I understand how they took him in this season because he doesn't have the resources that he typically has either. So he doesn't have that ability to use that knowledge like we're typically seeing. He had far fewer resources to use, and he kind of utilized them as best as he could, I guess. So I don't really like find fault in it, but it doesn't live up to the hype or live up to what it doesn't live up to the hype that the new people coming into it would think that this character would bring, and it doesn't live up to the hype of what the people that already know the character expect. So I think it is underutilized and underused, even though it probably shouldn't be. It just inherently is going to feel that way with one or another, or one way or another, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Is your mic okay? Do you need Justin? Is your mic all right? It looked
Yeah,
like
it's
maybe
fine.
it
It's
needed
fine. It's fine.
Bluetooth or something there for a second.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
All right. So what you got? Talk to me about your
For
Thrawn
me,
feelings,
look,
sir.
Thrawn was cool. I feel like the way some of the other characters were didn't service what he was doing. All in all, look, everyone did really good, but my one issue is like this is supposed to be a race against time for especially Ahsoka and Sabine. And bro, they're just chilling, hovering over these little roly-poly-oly guys. For what? I'm sorry. For what? And then you got Thrawn over here just tapping into their location. He didn't do any work, bro. I'm sorry. All he had to do was fly them out. They already knew where they were. The sense of urgency for what the situation was did not service the chest that he was trying to play. That's how I feel. It was good. He was menacing when he was in there. He seemed like he was an asshole, as he should. But, I mean, dude, cool. You made them waste time when they were already wasting time. That's where I'm at. So,
Do you think that was a pacing issue?
Yeah.
I felt
I
like
mean, I feel that.
7 or 8 was super pacing. Like, I think those were the biggest issues.
yes, I think so. That scene is a really good scene, actually, because it's kind of like mending of the relationship for Sabine and Ahsoka. And then you get that. I want to say that that's when you also get that scene where Ezra's actually building his lightsaber. You want that, but those should have been in episode
Yeah. The
seventh episode.
Conversation.
Yeah, that should have been in episode 7. I just, for them to, like, it's the final episode. The sense of urgency needs to be there, in my opinion, and there was none. You're hovering over roly-poly-olies and just sitting there waiting to get killed. I just don't get that part.
That part did feel like it was a little excessive to be protecting of those things versus. But
The
I
whole
don't remember.
galaxy.
But I don't remember what their current goal was at that moment. They were just on their way back to the temple from that moment, or were they still?
Yeah.
I don't think they even had an objective.
They were-
I think
yeah,
they
Yeah,
just
it was like
were
Shin
hovering
had just
over them.
showed up. Yeah, so
They were getting
They were
ready to
headed for
get
the
ready
temple,
to do
just not at a
something.
very high
Yeah.
rate of speed.
right.
And there was a little
That
too
part,
much
yeah,
prep
that
work
part
before
got
they
me.
got their hustle on, and then I'll tell you what, that shot of when the 2 TIE fighters left while Thrawn was just standing there, just going right over him, that big old wide scope shot.
Yeah.
Just dropped off
It was
their hoods
dope.
and took
It
the
was
fuck
dope.
off.
Mhm.
That's the kind of shit that happened a lot in this show that we've probably been missing since that show that tried to be Star Wars called Andor, because that thing was shot beautifully. I have to give that show credit for that. That thing was shot so well. It was a pleasure to watch. It really was. And it was well acted and well written and everything you would need in a Star Wars show. Except Star Wars. That's just me. Anyway. Sorry. I told Scotty I was going to trigger him at least.
Oh, no,
later,
dude, you're-
and I already
no,
made myself a
you're fine.
liar.
No,
You'll
you're
trigger
fine.
me.
You're fine.
Okay.
I didn't even make it through episode 4, so it's like,
Yeah, that's all right. I actually think, honestly, like real talk though, I think season 2 is actually going to be better. I really think season 2 is going to be better. I
Andor?
think it's all because, because they're going to do time jumps every 3 episodes, or every 4 episodes.
Yeah, this is the one that's supposed to cover 4 years.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
gonna be like a mini House
So
of the
there's going to be
Dragon.
a time jump every. Yeah, they'll be doing a time jump every after every third episode. So 1 through 3 is going to be a year, 4 through 6 going to be a year, 7 through 9 going to be a year, and 10 through 12 going to be a year. And I guess episode 12 is going to end Andor just like Rogue One ended, like right before. Like the last scene of Andor is going to basically be at the base right when or whenever.
It's
right
gonna
before fucking
Rogue
Rogue
One, A New Hope, like
be out on his mission where he ends up shooting dude, or probably just leaving for that mission that we saw the end of. What?
it's gonna tie into like Rogue One tied into A New Hope in a way.
Yeah, well, not in a way. I think he's going to do it exactly like that.
I can see
Like
that.
whatever mission
long as we get more
he
Andor.
ended at the beginning of that, I think is the one he's going to leave for in the last scene of season 2, episode 12.
Dude, I hope that stuff is hype, and I hope people are down because I still think I still want the Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron shit. Like, I don't care if it's a show or a movie.
Dude,
like,
that sounded.
I want Star Wars Top Gun. Damn it!
I know that would be sick. Except Patty Jenkins isn't going to walk on the lot of Disney or Warner Brothers anytime soon.
Yeah, they better drop a bag for her before she comes back.
Is that
Well, I don't know if they need to drop a bag
treated
after
her
84.
and then James Gunn, and then she went over to DC
twice,
and James Gunn's like, nah. Yeah. So after being shat upon by both Ms. Kennedy and Mr. Gunn, I think she's on break from those two companies for a while. She'll probably go write some dope ass indie film and like get actual awards or some shit.
Netflix.
That'd be good.
Netflix.
Yeah. Wow.
They're serviceable. They have they serve a purpose. I don't know if the purpose is worth their current price, but they serve a purpose.
Yeah, more space battles. Like the most intense battle we've had in a while was them flying through the landmines and the Purgles getting taken out.
Yeah. I think I got a better.
Actually, you know what? I never saw a Purgle die. I saw a lot get blasted, but I never saw one actually die. It was just like it was kind of like they were the Hulk, just taking really painful, annoying ass shots, and they're like, "Fuck this," and then they took off.
Which you'd think they kind of would die because it is the planet that the Purgle go to die at, right? So like, wouldn't they kind of already be in that kind of mood, like, especially after
you know what?
That
was honestly my first thought when they took off in hyperspace. I'm like, motherfuckers, you're supposed to be dying here anyway. But they're probably quite particular in the way they die. Like they just want to go in their natural way rather than accidentally swallowing a mine or two and suffering the worst heartburn they could ever suffer.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what though? That conversation with Ahsoka and Sabine was necessary for the same reason that Ahsoka and Anakin's conversation was necessary. Ahsoka got what she needed from Anakin to dump her guilt and anger and all that shizzle, and Ahsoka the White. And then Ahsoka and Sabine's conversation where where Ahsoka was comfortable with Anakin again and remembering that he always stood with her. And then she made that promise to Sabine. The same kind of emotional burden lifted off Sabine too, which I think is one of the major reasons she finally could use the Force in this episode. The same reason Ahsoka became Ahsoka the White. It was a lifting of a mental and an emotional burden that was blocking both of their focuses.
Yeah, someone the other day actually brought up on
me.
Obsession stream, someone was mentioning that in Legends, a normal muggle, if you will, a non-Force user, says something like super impactful to Luke, and that's like Luke's way of like, oh shit, yeah, I am actually, doing this in my. It's like the mental, you know what I mean? It's all mental when it comes to the Force. I understand people's frustration.
That is one thing
like the awakening, but it's because a lot of them have not seen, or it wasn't as impactful to them her time with Kanan Jarrus.
Yeah,
like, he said a lot about her specifically as a person and her connection to things. So I don't know, man.
I liked it. I did not like the Force push 20 seconds after learning how to do that, though. that negates
that.
everything that Luke ever learned with
Mhm.
Yoda and taking time, and it just it was so good, and then it wasn't. I was just like,
Yeah.
you don't need a cherry on top of that because it's not a cherry. It's just like,
Okay, but do you give credence to her first time using it was fear, and her second time, you know, she might be acting with this not pure of the light side, faster, stronger. I don't know. There's a lot of people that keep saying that she's like
I
doing
don't.
these things for the wrong reasons, and
it still doesn't. It's still just 20 seconds after. I feel like.
Yeah, like she was struggling 2 episodes ago to even move. Well, she couldn't move a cup.
Yeah.
I'm here for the lightsaber. I'm here for the lightsaber. But to me, I mean, my other thing is they missed an opportunity to just assert how awesome Ahsoka is right there. Because, like, to me, the perfect way to do that is, have her confident as fuck that she can get Ezra to go. But he jumps, he tries to grab her, doesn't fully get him, and then while Ahsoka's just still doing her thing with Morgan, she, one hand, boom, just gives him a little extra oomph. That would have been such a boss scene to also show that she still has a level to go.
That would have been like Ahsoka the White, like
exactly.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But it's just that's from one level
that is on point
to another level. That's just completely. As I said, I don't have a problem with her using the Force because she has the background for it.
Yeah,
and she's been training for it. But for her to just like. I'm sorry, man. I'm confident in a lot of stuff, but something like that, I'd be a little uncertain if I'm gonna get you safe like that. And
after I've been searching for you for however long,
10 years to get here. I'm gonna throw you off the cliff now. Let's go.
When a week ago I couldn't even move a cup. So it's like,
it took a near-death experience to get me to move a lightsaber 3 feet.
Yes,
so now I'm gonna push
exactly.
it like
yes. Not to mention he's like a mile away. Like it's not like he's right there. So.
Plus, Sci-Fi Quest mentioned in the comments, I'm pretty sure we saw Ezra jump higher than that in Rebels plenty of times. Like, just jump, my man, just jump. Catch up.
My other thing.
Something.
My other reason why this show was like, I'm not going to say the show, but that episode was a little underwhelming is Ezra he is inept in this freaking show. He has a lightsaber and he's freaking getting chokeholded. Bro, just put your arm up. Lightsaber the guy in the face. Please. It's not that hard. I don't get why he was so like unable to do anything. It was I digress.
You can't even say that
so long.
You can't even say they nerfed him per se, but they did write him a little off. That's the only real way.
I mean, he definitely didn't show off, and he didn't really. I mean, so here's the thing: like, he told Sabine he doesn't need a lightsaber.
Yeah,
bullshit.
Yep.
When he got the lightsaber,
grabs a blaster 30 seconds.
Hold up, though. Yeah. When he had the lightsaber at the end, though. When he had the lightsaber at the end,
probably more of a numbers thing with the blaster.
I don't care. I don't care. You were. Go ahead.
I just wanted to finish the thing I was saying because when he gets the lightsaber at the end, he's dope as fuck and he's shredding people. So I don't know. He's mowing down them zombie. He arguably kills more than Ahsoka and Sabine put together. Just saying.
I got to rewatch.
He was underwhelming.
I honestly
didn't keep
track of a count, but okay. So, like a lot of things, unfortunately, I would have to say that Ezra had his moments, but yeah, overall, he should have been more. Like, I don't know who the hell trained Iman Esfandi in his hand-to-hand, but they need a better trainer. He was awkward as fuck.
Well, they just need
and that force push should have been
for everybody.
People should have been flying off that force push like Thor just smacked him with Mjolnir too. I thought that force push was underpowered.
Yeah,
and I know we were probably
as for mastering the character of Ezra Bridger.
Oh, he was fantastic for that.
The acting was absolutely perfect. The writing
that was beautiful. The way he played him. They just need a better off-screen trainer for him, and he'll be fine.
They need better choreography for him too, because that was just like, bro. I know we had probably a overhyped level of what we thought this Force karate was gonna look like, but I'm not gonna lie, I was still expecting it to kind of look like Shang-Chi whenever Shang-Chi's mom was fighting his dad, where he was gonna be kind of gliding around, soft on the feet, using the Force. That was none of that, dude. He was clunky.
Yeah, we were all, I think, kind of under the impression that he has been training out there by himself, and I don't think he needed to. I don't think he was, he's not really protecting those little things from anything but bandits, because Thrawn was leaving him alone for the most part.
But the bandits didn't go down easy either. Like, it took him a lot of effort to do that. It didn't seem like he's been thwarting off bandits for 5 years or protecting a group of people for 5 years.
And not only that, whenever you come in with the confidence level like he did, like, bro, he's like, I don't need that fucking lightsaber. And then, you're struggling. Like, I
think you did.
The blaster, yeah.
I think you did. So
the blaster, while it's like, yeah, you were just bragging about this a few seconds ago, he didn't pick up the blaster till like, when it was just the Raiders, he was fine. It was a numbers thing. As soon as they had all came in like a swarm, he's like, oh, well, this ain't gonna fucking work anymore.
My brother, chilling. Yeah, I hear you, but no, I don't accept it. He was struggling from the start.
I figured I'd just do what I wanted him to do and throw that, See.
Didn't Shin body him against the building too?
Big time. About 20 seconds after he pushed somebody about a tenth of this length.
She actually knocked him out for about 20 seconds or so.
Which that makes no sense to me. It just doesn't make sense, Like, Ezra's this dude. He's powerful in the Force. He's literally talked to space whales across the galaxy and got them to come help him in his aid, like to take out Thrawn, and then shoot them across to another galaxy. Like, that's not an easy feat. He's the guy that got like the Mortis gods back in tune and kind of like getting everything into the world between worlds. He's the reason Ahsoka's even able to get to where they are right now. And that's not just like from nowhere. And then they just wrote him like he's just some average Joe, like Jedi from the temple. Like, oh yeah, this like, and it doesn't feel right. That Shin's gonna be powerful. There's no doubt. Balin's her freaking master. They've been doing stuff for the last who knows how many years. She's gonna be powerful, but is she more powerful than the guy that summons space whales and Loth wolves? Speaks to Loth wolves like Kanan wasn't even speaking to Loth wolves. I don't know. It's just.
But he became one.
Something. But he did. That was badass. We needed to see it.
And I could see a thing of like having rust because he hasn't been in that type of action, but like that was beyond rust. It felt like he didn't belong in the fight. It's just bad.
There were those moments, those like, I don't want to say it. There were like those cartoon Rebels moments where they're having conversations in the middle of a battle, and I'm like, there should be a little more urgency here. But it didn't take me out of it. It didn't take me completely out of it because I'm like, he's a Jedi. Like, he ain't gonna get hit with a blaster bolt. I'm not worried. Like, he's not gonna let Sabine get hit with one either. It's whatever. Mm-hmm. She was like, the Force was protecting her ass the whole season. All of the shots that she blocked, like boxing, but there were people shooting at her, and she's just like doing this. Like, I don't know how many times she caught bolts like that.
Was it unconscious use of the Force, or was it the all-powerful plot armor?
I think somebody was looking over her. I think,
all of the above. Yeah, right.
All of the above. I'm with
probably
that
all
one
of
too.
the above.
All of the above.
Yeah, like when it came to Sabine's Force push of Ezra, that's not a hill I'm going to die on, but I just basically, and it's only a teeny stretch. I chalk that up to adrenaline. And also a desperation, and also to keep her, best friend alive. She can, but that's not a hill.
Except the pull is okay, push is not okay. We have to cut you off at push. I said the pull is okay. The push.
That's not a hill. I mean, that's totally not a hill I'm going to die on. I just kind of wanted to chuck that out there.
I wouldn't die on the hill either, but I
dropped a video about it earlier, which y'all should watch.
I'm willing to die on the hill. I think it's crazy.
Which what? force push was crazy.
Yeah. The force push, ridiculous.
Yeah,
Grown ass man.
I just-
mean, I
know.
I
I just
will
think
say
they missed the
this.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I like the way you wrote it
agree.
better. I like the way
scenario
you wrote it
came
better.
up with would have been so
Yes.
dope. I will say this: when it comes to Sabine's force push, at least like he came up almost short anyway. Although that was
Mhm.
probably written more for the comedy than as any commentary on her abilities, but
Mhm.
it still
That was
happened.
a very
He almost did
Ezra
not make that shit.
Yeah.
So
I half
I mean, I'll
expected
give him
like
credit for
Han to
that, but
come
yeah,
up
it
with
was
that.
your way was so much better, dude. Like so much better.
Or you know what? Honestly, I honestly expected like Hugh Yang to just be there with the ship because like last time when they jumped,
Right.
caught him with
Oh,
the
yeah.
ship,
Mhm.
like that would have
Yeah.
been that would attract. Yeah, like he's always watching over him.
That would have been good too.
Yeah,
I just,
yeah, that
I
would've-
just, it's just weird a little bit for me, but I mean,
Yeah. It was just
What about Morgan
cherry on top
Elsbeth,
of
man?
weird forced moments.
she was good, man.
How about that?
She was
How about that
really
Morgan
good.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would say this episode
All the Night
was
Sisters
probably her for me was her best performance this episode, like out of the whole show. Like
I
for
agree.
me, she was just okay. And then this, like, she stepped it
Mhm.
up for this episode, in my opinion.
Yep.
What y'all
I don't know, looking back on her, she's not like she's super pivotal, but like almost like just simply for plot points in a certain way where her character doesn't really matter outside of those plot points. But when she shows up, she's kind of like Balin, and obviously Ray Stevenson stole the freaking show because he's just Ray Stevenson, and just that
Dude, he was great.
regality he brought to everything was just awesome. But pound per pound for like the
don't worry,
words
we're
that
gonna be
Morgan
devoting a
Elsbeth
fair
spoke.
chunk of time to that guy.
Oh yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do with the recast, but we'll see. But
We'll get to that.
I think pound for pound, Morgan Elsbeth was like just as badass, I think, as Balin, or just as like pertinent and meticulous with everything that she did. Like every word she spoke had meaning. Every movement she did and everything that she coordinated had meaning. In that same kind of way, Balin or Thrawn kind of had. She is just that kind of like tertiary character out of the three of them, so it didn't feel like that. But I think looking back on it, she's gonna be a standout. I think because she was good.
Yeah, she was dope.
Didn't she disarm one of Ahsoka's lightsabers the
Yeah.
first time they fought too? So
Mhm.
2 times she was able to disarm her.
First, yeah.
So
Yep.
Pretty cool
just
callback.
saying. Just saying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is she dead?
She was.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think she's
Oh, yeah.
dead.
But what about Night Sister?
I think she's
not
dead.
dead
more-
yet.
They
I
left
think
her
she's
there and
dead
didn't
more
resurrect
because
her.
of the.
No,
Yeah.
no one's with her.
Well,
Yo, then
I
he
think
also
she's dead
shot
more
that
because
shit
of,
to pieces.
Blade of Talzin than more so the lightsaber. I think
Yeah,
Knight
she
killed
took
Knight
both of them.
on that one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
unfortunately, because
I'm
when
inclined to
I
think
saw she was
actually
going, I
the
was like,
Blade
damn.
of Talzin had more to do with her death than the lightsaber did, huh? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I was just saying when they sent her out, I was like, damn, she's gone. There's no way Ahsoka's
yeah.
letting her walk away this time. I was like, no, sir.
No.
But
You know what's funny
The
is a
Ronin
lot of
doesn't
people
let you
thought
walk
this had the
twice.
potential to be a bloodbath, and literally she's the only one that died.
Well, a lot of stormtroopers died, night troopers, and then
Yep.
died again. Ish.
Some of them died twice, yeah. But in
Yeah.
terms of like characters,
Yeah.
yeah, I
a lot of
don't
people
know
thought we
how.
could lose a couple, 2, 3 that I saw in various videos I watched, and then it ended up just being Morgan.
Who were they
There was
thinking?
that gift of shadows she got was pretty sick, though. I will say that. Turning her
That
into,
was
like, the
cool, but
full-on
who were they
Black Eyed
thinking?
Sister was dope. What was who thinking?
Who were they thinking was gonna die?
Oh, some people thought Hu Yang was going to die. Some people thought Sabine actually could, do the sacrifice play for Ezra and die. That doesn't say I was agreeing with them all. I just said I was hearing the shit.
I'm just baffled that people thought like there's like future stuff to go with almost all these other characters. I'm just confused on.
Yeah.
She's literally the only expendable person.
The only other people that could have
Pretty
died would have been like
much.
Night Sister.
Yeah,
Other than,
and then they can
other
rebuild
than,
the droid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Other than what's his fuzz? God damn it! What's Thrawn's bodyguard's name?
Oh, Enoch.
Enoch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't get
Enoch,
enough for
yeah.
Enoch, though. I would've
I feel like
been
he's
pissed if
probably
they killed him.
expendable. Yeah.
But he's
He
played by
is.
Wes Chatham, and we haven't seen Wes Chatham yet. And I need Amos from The Expanse to pop up and do some cool shit. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm waiting.
See, I need to watch The
Wait.
Expanse. I have not watched that,
So good.
but did anybody? How are we all feeling just about the proliferation of Force magic / Dark Force magic that Dave's bringing in? Like, this show was all about it, from the activation of the map, all the way up to this last episode with zombie raising, converting her into a full-on Night Sister, conjuring the blade of Talzin. We've been smacked around in the face with a lot of magic this whole season. How are y'all feeling about that?
I'm here for it, and I think he's kind of gonna like rewrite some of their history. And I always cite the Book of the Sith, which is like compilation of writings from like Palpatine. Mother Talzin has a whole chapter in it, but the Night Sisters, I guess, were not like that. It was never about dark side magic. That's a corruption that happened to them. They were more about the natural order of things. That planet of Dathomir, I think, flourished at one point. Don't quote me on that, but had like lush forests, had creatures of nature, not these like demonic things that live there now. So I hope we get some of that. I don't know. Tie that into Old Republic, tie that into High Republic, whatever. But I think we're gonna get a lot of histories from Peridia specifically, like a little Lord of the Rings history lesson, if you will.
That'd be cool.
That'd be dope. I mean, it's kind of
if his movies are as epic as Lord of the Rings,
I mean, we saw in one of that last movie that they made that Mustafar was starting to come back. There was actual minor vegetation and a few trees here and there when Mr. Ren / Solo was going on his rampage. So wait, dead sisters were still hanging from them? What? Did I miss that? Like every time I've watched that movie? Wow. You know what? I really wish you hadn't typed that, because now I have to know, which means I actually have to put my eyeballs on that goddamn movie again. Thank you very much, Sci-Fi Quest.
Wait.
It's one scene.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'd probably end up watching the whole thing just because that's what I do anyway. So, I mean, there's like everything. There are good parts to all that shit. Rise. At the beginning of Rise. Because he went to Mustafar to Vader's castle to get the holocron so that he could what should have been a full holocron but was just a wayfinder that looked exactly like a fucking holocron.
It's a great movie, man. It's a great movie. Love it.
But
I plead the fifth.
But yeah, that was Mustafar on the comeback after Vader's death and him not being there to corrupt shit, I guess.
Love it. Love that movie. Greatest Star Wars movie of them all.
Well,
I'm not joking at all either.
Forget who controls the clicker, motherfucker.
Ahsoka did technically die in the season of the show, so her voice kind of makes sense, right?
She technically died, right?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay, good. No, I'm not going to be Jamie and be like, shut up, Matt.
I don't know how that started, but it's great.
I know, right? Oh, actually, speaking of which, I'm going to be on with you guys tomorrow.
You are? You're coming?
Yeah. We're
talking Ahsoka.
And I already talked about it.
Beautiful.
That's why. That's probably the only reason why. And maybe Stormy won't be there. I don't know, but I'll be on there.
No, Stormy will be there. Well,
if
anybody won't, it'll be Matt, because he's just not as Star Wars oriented. But now we can bring
Oh,
the vitality of goodness to Star Wars over there. 'Cause
Jamie's going to be
everyone-
pissed. He's going to be the only Brit on the screen. If it's you,
which was
me, and
great because I
Stormy
was
and
the only
him.
American on the screen the other day. That was a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and also going to be on Marvelous Chats tomorrow evening too, with Finto
Badass.
183. You've seen his. You know who that is, Justin, at least by name. He's
I'll
always
be
super
honest.
chatting in Josh's streams and shit. Huh?
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't remember
pay
him
attention
super
to
chatting,
super
remember?
chats like that, bro. No, I don't pay
Oh,
attention to super
yeah.
chats that much. I'll be honest.
He's pretty. He's pretty active in the chat, in the super chats and shit.
If I saw his like thing, I'd probably know then. But
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably. But yeah, so I'm gonna be on with him tomorrow evening too. So it's gonna be fun. Get to
Sweet.
talk this shit all weekend. Oh, just real quick before we get back into the serious business, what manner of vino are you sipping on?
Who? Me? Who?
I'm not
Justin, drinking
not
the wine.
talking to me.
What kind of wine?
it's gone now. But it was some
Okay, what was it?
Stella Rosa. It was some nice Stella Rosa. You know, the fake the
Is that
wine heads would call it fake wine, but I call it a masterpiece.
Precisely.
I mean, in my lifetime, I have not been above like slamming my own box of Frenzia cup by cup until it got to the end, and then I just hit the spigot until.
Oh, sometimes you just gotta slap the bag. If you're at a
Slap
party, you
the
just
bag, yes, sir.
slap that puppy and keep moving. You know.
As unsanitary as it
Yep.
is, it's great. It's great.
Oh, hey, there's a reason nobody got the Ronas before Rona times. We were all slapping bags, we were all spreading things, and we had good bacteria going. Now
Dude, we knew what germs were then. man.
bring back
Well-
slapping the bag. How do we start that trend somewhere?
Man, that'd be a great trend.
Hey, Saber,
I need to
tell me
make
how
that like a
drunk it is when you
goal.
come back in. I must know. Yeah. Well, I mean,
What?
it was also the fact that we were drinking so much alcohol, a germ couldn't fucking survive in our general neighborhood for like a day and a half. So,
I mean, that is
because
also
we,
true.
we drink it all night and sweat it out all the next day.
Damn right.
They'd come in
Stomach,
and
liver,
just die
kidney are
like
all
a
just
mosquito that hit
acidic.
a
It
fucking
just
trap.
tears through everything.
That is definitely true.
Oh, excuse me. So, all right. Just in general with the fighting
Yeah.
overall for the finale, how we with on that? Because there was like Ahsoka and Morgan's fight was fucking sick. It was probably the best fight of the show, at least for me. Like that was the best choreographed and the best executed fight. Right behind that would come any fight between Ahsoka and Balin. Like both of their fights were also epic. But that was
So I might be a
amazing for Ray
simp.
Stevenson. Although
I might be a simp for this,
yeah, right there.
but I still think Anakin and Ahsoka's fight is still.
Oh, yeah.
I might still put that over the top on those because it's just you felt the prequel level of fighting in that still. Like Balin has that still that like kind of that Vader stance feel to him, which I like, but I still like the flashiness of like how Anakin just behind the back shit and all that is great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I can't argue with you. It's like there was really good fights and then there was less good fights. Like Sabine and Shin's, both of Sabine and Shin's fights
Yeah.
on Cetos, the first one on Lothal and then the second one on Cetos. Neither of them were masterpieces. Like skewered on the first one, and we are not, I repeat, not having the lightsaber damage in Star Wars conversation. I don't want to deal with that bullshit.
I was
Y'all
about to
can
say,
feel how
you
you
want to
feel
start talking
about
about the
that.
fights
I
in the
don't want to.
finale.
No, we are not talking about lightsaber damage or the lack thereof. God damn it. I've had enough of that shit already from like everywhere I go.
Wait, what side of
The
it are you
memes
on,
are
though?
endless.
Just say, give us the
I would
carnage.
For the record,
prefer
just for the record, you know.
Just
I
for the
would prefer the
record.
carnage immensely. I would prefer the carnage. Give me my carnage. Give me like, give me limbs. Give me dismemberment. I mean, they did chop off zombie purge
That does
Trooper's
not
head.
count.
But you
That-
didn't see
that
the actual
was like-
strike. You just saw Ezra swing at something behind a statue and then like head popped off.
And they wasted a
didn't even get
second
to
and a
really
half
see
of
the
a
act.
frame behind a statue in that process, which just hurt me as someone who wants to do anything film related. That was like, what?
Yeah. that is purely the mouse. That's the only explanation for
Dude,
it. That is the mouse.
How long are they gonna go on that, bro? Like, you still have episode 3 on Disney Plus. Like, they need to stop with that bullshit.
Yeah. Every
lightsaber-
animation they've ever done is more intense than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lightsaber is more censored itself than anything because it barbecues the end of any limb they have, so there's no blood. Like, just do it.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
do it.
Do it.
I don't get
Yeah.
it.
It's like the perfect PG-13 weapon. Just
Exactly.
It really is. You can chop as much shit up as you want, animate or inanimate, and the same result's going to happen. A lot of heat at the cut, and then once something falls off, there's no anything. It's just
And then
you're done.
you get to make another inclusive character because we know that's what they want to do. Because then you can have a paraplegic.
Oh Jesus Christ!
That was fucked. My bad.
My
My
wife's
bad.
going to be so
Out of
mad that I
pocket.
laughed at that. But holy fuck!
I'm
of
just
pocket.
going like
Never
I'm
mind.
scrolling through
She-
mentally
that's
all the
hilarious.
different
Never
paraplegic
mind.
Jedi.
It's
actors
good.
and go,
I take that back. Out of pocket. My bad.
do we
Oh,
have
you
like
can't take
Drake
that
the
back.
Grassy
This is weird, though.
paraplegic
Somebody
Jedi?
somewhere
Do we
is
have
gonna clip
Walt
that.
Junior Jedi?
Out of pocket. My bad. My
Yeah,
bad. My bad.
but-
That was a Discord.
Oh,
That was a
think about
Discord
that for a
type joke.
that really kind of was. But you know what? I ain't mad at you.
I apologize to anybody I might have
I know you're not going to say
offended.
anything truly out of pocket. That was just like, you're peeking over the edge of the pocket. That's all.
But
Just
like
being like-
I'm kind of not like I'm joking, but I'm kind of being serious too because like that's another character that you can. 'Cause there's a lot of people that are paraplegics missing. It includes them. You get a dope character
Out of
that
veterans.
has gone through some shit that actually gets substance.
Mhm.
It's been my issue with a lot of their fucking characters is they're building they're bringing in
Yeah.
characters for inclusivity that have zero meaning. Like
Yeah.
that would be a meaningful character.
just fucks up. Then that fucks up everything for like the next time they even want to try that. Because once you start doing it badly, not even the people that you're trying to include are going to want to watch that shit because they're going to be like, "You're not fucking helping,"
Well, it
Dude,
just disillusions
you know.
people.
Yes.
At the point where you're not even helping the people that you're supposedly trying to help, because let's face it, corporations are what they are, and everything comes down to what will benefit the corporation more. The corporations, especially Hollywood, follow trends so damn fast it'll break your fucking neck sometimes. The way they just switch.
Well, here's my my
So-
prime example, man, is Reva. I hate to bring it here, but like, unfortunately,
Oh, yeah, I
Morgus
know.
Ingram wasn't even a part of Star Wars Celebration because she doesn't want to be, bro. Like,
Nope.
they just missed a really good opportunity for honestly what could have been an awesome character because her character has zero meaning and has honestly it's just the interference of two characters that everyone wants to see. So I'm joking with that comment, but I'm also kind of not because like that would have been a cool character.
Yeah, if
Just-
you're gonna do
just-
I
something
mean,
like
there were
that,
reasons why she didn't go, and it was because of the way people were talking to her directly online.
Yeah,
So
but that was also
Oh, yeah.
set up because of how they did that character.
that's not an excuse for how you treat a person.
It's not an excuse,
No,
but you
no.
And that is why you don't get these people. Like the
No,
fans
you know-
gotta eventually own up to your shit. Like
No,
say it with
I
your
know what you're
chest.
I know
Yeah,
what
but
you
same
mean,
thing
And
with
but
then you
that's
gotta
not
eat-
you
you
know
gotta
that's
eat
not
the
how I'm
results.
saying it.
I know that's not how you're saying it, but that's how a lot of people are saying it. And they're saying it to her directly online because she has a Twitter account and
Oh,
she
yeah, I
removed
know.
it. And it's the same reason why all these people remove it. It's the
I
same
know.
reason why
I
all these
100%
celebrities
get
cut
that.
themselves off. So if you want these people that represent what you want in Star Wars, you got to treat them with respect at the very least, outside of the
100%.
writing.
I-
And that's a lot of reason
100%.
why a lot of these Star Wars channels get the clicks is because they don't care about the respect. And a lot of people are with that. They just think
clicks
that the
do
writing
that.
was trash, and I'm going to say what I want about the trash writing.
I think
Has
y'all are
nothing to do
saying the
about
same
the-
thing though. They need to be handled with respect, and the studios shouldn't be holding themselves to a lack of a double standard or to a double standard like that, where they hold the fans to a certain way, and then they don't treat these characters with respect when writing them. And these characters have to have substance for fans to have that kind of. If they don't give anything for fans to hold on to, that small group of people that's going to be looking for clicks online that are yelling will always have an advantage to a degree if there is no substance given to the characters that they try to go at, you know. And it sucks. There's no right or wrong side. I mean, there's definitely a wrong side, but there's no like truly right side. It has to be
It's
each
the approach.
character. Yeah, it's
your
the approach. I
to
feel
the
like,
topic.
and the studio
Exactly.
doesn't have a double standard like that.
Exactly. But to me too, it's like, yeah, those people that really sent her shit, they're fucking assholes. Like, let's get that out the way. They're fucking assholes. They're low lives. Don't deserve to fucking even be a part of this society, really. Let's keep that clear. But it's also on the studio's side to where they know who the fuck their audience is. They know there's not just you. At the end of the day, you
That's
market
a
this.
loaded question.
What do you mean?
You said they know who their audience is. I think they do. I think that the audience doesn't understand that, like, the audience is evolving beyond what it was.
But you're
the
telling me
divide.
you know
That's the divide.
when you market a Obi-Wan Kenobi show with Hayden Christensen gonna be back in there, you're marketing it as an Obi-Wan and Hayden Christensen Darth Vader face off. That's literally what Kathleen Kennedy said. They're gonna face
They
off
did
again.
face off. They did.
They did, but in the middle of almost every portion is a character that I personally believe, if you have her character take a step back, she is used today as a good character in the future. You build another spin-off show for her. You build another, I don't know, people would fuck with Moses Ingram's character a lot more if you write that character better. They put this character infused in a spot that just unfortunately should, as I said, as much as I want her character to be a future character, we know who everybody's coming to see. And unfortunately, that's when you get those stupid idiots that are just keyboard warriors going against and typing in her shit. As a company, as Disney, come on, you got to tell me somebody in that room is like, yo, look, I love that we have Moses here, but can we use her later after this? This ain't going to be able to share. Everyone knew. You're telling me no one knew that character is probably not going to be really marketable after that. No one in
it's
that.
unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
I don't think they expected that response from the fans, bro.
And to me, that's my thing: is how do you not expect something like that? Because
they'd already done the sequel.
we know
Solo and had that happen
Exactly,
in
they
that
have-
order. And it doesn't matter how you feel about
Exactly.
the films itself; it's how the audience reacted to them, and the studio doesn't learn from those
Exactly.
reactions
They have-
and how they make their projects from that.
they have things they can go back on and see that this would probably be the outcome of how this comes out. They didn't do that with her, and that's why I feel so bad for Moses Ingram, because it's like, yo, she could have a fucking good career right now in Star Wars and be loved if they had just written her character right to be a a legitimately co-star. I mean, she'd been a side actor pretty much. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But make sure she is not outshining the two.
Well,
The two.
I mean, literally, to bring it back to Ahsoka, that's what happened with Sabine this entire season. Especially the first half of the season, people were complaining online. Everywhere was like, "Is this really Ahsoka's show? Is this?" And it really didn't feel like it was Ahsoka's show till she became Ahsoka the White. And even then, it's still half and half with Sabine. And I don't have a real big issue with that. But also, I would have liked to see more into Ahsoka's mind as a mentor. And then, because we've seen Jedi learning, and I understand it's going to be hard for Sabine to learn these things as a Mandalorian, but we've seen that in Rebels. We've seen that. This show is titled Ahsoka and not Rebels, though. I don't know why it was titled Ahsoka at the end of the day. As much as Ahsoka's like my second favorite Star Wars character.
Sabine's character. It's Sabine's character arc right here.
I would like to know who gets more screen time and who gets more lines in the entire season, if it's Sabine or Ahsoka at the end of the day. Honestly.
That's something I never cared
There's
about.
a website somewhere.
Well, I don't care about it necessarily. It's that it's not good for the story at hand. Narratively, it doesn't make sense for what we were advertised, what we expect, and what the audience has been given. Nothing correlates in the way that we would expect, or that was lined out, even, if that makes sense.
It doesn't. I feel like I'm on the opposite side of a lot of things.
Okay.
You guys have said so much. You guys have said so much. I want to go back to something that Justin was saying about Reva so you said Reva outshined.
Yeah,
you said in the show she outshined Vader and Obi-Wan.
Maybe outshined is not the best word, but she was more prevalent.
Too much screen time.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. I feel like Morgan Elsbeth outshined Ahsoka and Anakin in this. But everybody loves Morgan Elsbeth because she's a Night Sister, got all these super powered up force powers. They don't like Reva, who is now an Inquisitor, who Obi-Wan let go. She's an open-ended character now. That's why I'm so excited for her. I agree. I think she would crush a spinoff. I think if this new show, The Acolyte, can have a high enough good response, like, I think there is room for a Reva appearance in future parts of the timeline, like if she's still alive. But this fandom, like, this shit doesn't happen to these types of actors in Marvel, in DC. Like, I don't know why it's Star Wars. It is, though. It's the same response.
What character would be even in Marvel that would be kind of on that same level as how Reva I think Morgan Elsbeth, she was played perfectly because she doesn't. There's a whole.
And she's also a veteran actor as well. This is like Morgan, or what's her name?
Yeah, she's got a resume on her.
The Reva actress, yes, but she's not like on the level of the Morgan.
I'm saying I forgot Morgan Elsbeth's the real actor's name, but she's like what Bruce Lee's daughter or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She has a resume on her, yeah, but to me they were done like at the end of the day. Ahsoka still has her own episode, and I personally don't feel like her character outshined the Ahsoka or Anakin. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, she is taking a back seat in that whole show. She's taking a back seat to Thrawn. Like, she's there to serve Thrawn. She goes and dies literally for Thrawn, and you can tell she don't want to. Like, but that at the end of the day, her character was dope. Like, it was dope. Unfortunately, what I'm saying for Reva, I know that I say the marketing part, but the marketing part is huge. You market this show to be Vader and Obi-Wan, not Vader, Ahsoka. I said Ahsoka, but Reva, I don't have another finger for it. Mm-hmm. And then Obi-Wan. Reva is literally in the middle of everything. You spoon feed her a transmission that Obi-Wan just so happens to drop. She somehow beats Leia through a one-way tunnel and kills the pilot and everything. There's so like they that was just a not well written character in that. And that's why I feel, for me, I'm like, dude, she's a character. She's a character.
I don't think she was poorly written.
horrible
I think
for
the show is
Moses.
poorly executed.
Me too.
I don't think that. I think a lot of the Inquisitors should feel like throwaway characters. They're literally throwaway Force
They're
users
throwaway
that
characters.
Palpatine and Vader used for their own will. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the fandom's gotta chill out, bro, with that. Getting after the actors specifically. Like, talk about
100%.
Lucasfilm, talk about
you
Star
should
Wars
never
and
go
their
after the
decisions.
actor.
Like,
Exactly. And
but
especially,
it only
as I said,
happens
that's why
over
those
here.
guys
It
are
only
cringe as
happens
fuck.
in
Yeah.
yeah.
It's never the
if
actors.
If you're gonna like fuck with someone on Twitter for that show, it's Joby Harold. That's the motherfucker
Right,
you want to
like,
go after.
you know, like, yeah.
It
Have
ain't
some
Mos- it ain't-
decency is
it
all
ain't
I'm
Ingram's
saying.
fault
Like,
that she was written that way. She played the line she was given
Well,
the best she could.
Originally,
That's all
she
you
wasn't
can
written
do.
that way. She was written for a film by Warren Beatty, not for a TV series that was bastardized by
Yeah,
Joby
and a
Harold.
lot-
And I like
that's the
Joby
other
Harold's
thing.
work.
And
Right.
from what I read about that script, written a lot more badass. Like she was supposed to be all scarred up, and she was going to be.
And you
dope.
can talk about the budgets, and you can talk about so many things that factor into it. It comes down to the fans and like why they do this shit to specific types of actors. It's just, it's a big
For me,
red
Well,
for
flag.
me
section
right
of the
there.
fandom,
Yeah, for me right there, I disagree and agree with you because it's like, those fuckers are weird. It comes down to those fuckers are just weird. But I'm also on that same side. Like as Star Wars, we have evidence that this would probably happen. Set Moses up for success. Set Moses up to where she's gonna enjoy her first time in Star Wars.
That part.
They did not fucking do that. I don't care. There, you could tell me anything. They did not do that. Again, the fact that nobody was in the room just saying, let's pull her back, rein her in, make sure she is going to be dope for something else later.
Yeah.
They did not do that. The coolest thing the coolest thing about her is the fact that she is literally wanting to seek vengeance on Vader. That's not gonna fucking happen. But how is it? What is your fucking plan? No, you kind of ruin it. Well, you did ruin it. Exactly. But
yeah, now
it's
she's
like
just sad and moping and off on her own somewhere. We don't even know. Like,
moping and has all this information still that she's never gonna act on anymore. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
No, I feel you. I do.
But yeah, like, don't get me wrong. The fandom is fucked.
It's yes. It's Joby Harold's fault we have these lightsaber fights now.
Bouncing off of Stormtrooper.
It's literally Joby Harold's fault that we now have fights over lightsaber damage. You know that, right?
It was great up until even the sequels did that.
Yeah.
Like they were lightsabers were useful. Like they did what lightsabers have always done. And then anybody that had calmed down from complaining at that point got their fire was lit. And you know what? I might not be a big complainer at the end of the day, but that's something I will complain about always, because that's stupid. It just defeats the entire purpose of a lightsaber. You might as well be swinging baseball bats.
I honestly think that's probably the crux of the complaint about that character too, was that scene. That one scene where like her massive plot armor, unearned plot armor was evident, and it started lightsaber fights or fights about the efficacy of the lightsaber. Like that one scene is responsible for like a lot of shit in the fandom. And then of course there's Star Wars PR who decided that just because the fucktards in the fandom were going to be super loud, we're all those fucktards. That didn't help anything either.
That too. That fucking shit.
They swept the fandom with an obscenely large brush. All they did was listen to the
Yeah.
loud. All they did was listen to the loudest. They didn't listen to those of us who are actually offering, like, okay, yeah, you could improve this way, not just this is fucking trash and fuck this.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean that if their PR department had just handled that better, like I would need time to come up with some kind of statement. I probably could. I can bullshit on paper fairly well. That's how I got through all my writing classes in high school. I didn't do shit till the night before. It was stupid.
Yeah.
But
Something.
like, yeah, even if I could do that now, why the hell couldn't a professional paid person handle that?
Well, I
much
mean
more
that
deftly.
speaks to a larger Lucasfilm issue as a whole. They've
Exactly.
decided to completely disengage with their fandom besides like strictly the positive stuff. And although there is a bunch of negative just crap spewing their way, if you don't engage with that at all, it becomes the loudest thing in the room. And it has been the loudest thing in the room for a long time, since comments have been disabled on their videos, since all these different things. You can't dislike everything else. If you don't engage with your fan base directly, somebody else will for you. And now somebody that they didn't ever want in there is controlling, I guess, is the narrative typically.
Now you have like
It's completely their fault, It's
Yeah.
if you want to actually put your projects out there and talk about them, you have to talk about them. You can't let somebody else. It's too much. I don't get it.
They can't even run their own narrative, is what it is. They have lost the ability to run their narrative in the fandom. Even with the people that like love the fuck out of them, they still can't even completely get their narrative right, even with them. Like whoever's in that building in that department is inept as fuck, and they need to go. And it's not a Lucasfilm problem either. It's a Disney problem. Every PR department under those big old ears is like that.
Big time.
All of them.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, Star Wars fandom is probably the epitome of the one that you don't want to be part of necessarily at the moment. Although I ain't ever leaving. We got to bring positivity where we can, and hopefully we can keep bringing it if they keep bringing us good stuff. But I mean,
dude,
Marvel,
I've had
DC,
nerd boner this entire show. I've had 7 weeks of a throbber, and it's been awesome.
Sounds about right. You've been looking at Shin a bunch, huh?
It would have been 8, but they did the first 2 shows in one night. So
it's true. 2.5 months.
Oh man.
All right. I need to grab another drink, and I'll be back in a couple. While I'm gone, why don't you guys talk about your overall impressions of Thrawn, Lars Mikkelsen's performance, and how he was written and stuff? I'll be back.
I think we got to touch on a lot of that. We definitely touched on a lot of that. I love that they brought him back directly to voice and act. I actually thought that the blue and the eyes and everything was great. I did not see fans, thankfully.
Oh, you're fucking right. We did already talk about that shit.
But yeah, Thrawn isn't done yet, dude. And Dathomir is very fascinating. You guys think that all the caskets are Night Sisters?
Part. We haven't talked about that shit yet. We got to talk about that shit.
So all the caskets are Night Sisters, right?
I think so.
From that planet.
I'm gathering that. I mean, yeah.
So they're about to bring all of the Night Sisters back.
Yeah, which is kind of it's kind of crazy to think about, because that's some in-game level type shit right there for real. So
you say in-game, I'm literally like, this could impact the third Jedi. If Marin, for whatever reason, ever needs to return to Dathomir, isn't this potentially like, if there's long lasting effects from what they do? I want that. I want the live action video game crossover, bro. Like, when are we getting that? Please, can we just do it now,
bro?
So Cal and Marin take over the Night Sisters and bring them back to like a balanced force using group.
Holy shit, dude, that'd be sick,
bro. That'd be actually.
Got to take out.
That'd be actually kind of dope.
Yeah, take out the Night Mothers.
Really. I'm reaching super far, but what if they just take them into Kobo Abyss and they're the Talonor is the new home of the Night Sisters from Survivor. That
What-
temple.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So have you not played Survivor? Because this is a bombshell.
No. They can make it that moon right above them too. Let them have a
Yeah.
stake.
Either
They
way.
have a lot of areas they can make that there for
Yeah.
in Survivor, and yeah, wow.
Well, yeah. So Dathomir is going to be like either full power or damn near.
Ooh. And just while we're thinking Jedi, like the games, we still have no idea what the hell's going on with Terran Malicos. He's on Dathomir.
Right. That could be your.
Is he Jorah Sabaoth? Is he the thing that's going to be taken out of the ground eventually? Like,
That would be sick.
Man. There's a body of a Zepho there too.
there is.
So
Oh yeah,
That
Kudit's around there somewhere too. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I'm
after
actually
throwing all
really,
that
really
Zepho shit
curious.
at us on that temple.
Like,
need
what
to
if
pay
what
that
if there's
shit
a
off.
sage? What if there's a sage buried on Peridia? And
well, that's what like the freaking the concept art with the Zepho on the first episode. Like, you would have thought that they would have found something Zepho like getting to Peridia, and that's one of, I guess, the underwhelming aspects to me is just like, where's that thread going? And it wasn't really hinged at again in a way where like it could have been easy just to dangle a carrot somewhere, please, just a little something, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like they don't want to be so heavy-handed with where they're going, but like that's why I'm like, I think it's gonna connect to a name we know. I mean, bro, they said Eye of Sion, Darth Sion.
Like
they say this shit for a reason.
And I mean, Night Sisters are notorious for bringing people back to life.
Spell his Sion, just out of curiosity.
Same way.
S-I-O-N.
Right?
S-I-O-N.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they spell that shit then. That's how.
And they called it the eye, and the dude had a fucked up eye. Like,
and he's notorious for like bringing
know.
himself back to life over and over after death. Which Night Sisters, like, come on, just give us some goodness.
All
I mean, it's that's one thing I like about Dave's work. I mean, he can use a little more polishing with his live action stuff. Obviously, he's like all powerful when it comes to animation.
God Emperor Dave Filoni,
but right?
Damn right.
End up trying to create us a good Star Wars battle world. Okay. Harris, you motherfucker! What the hell was my point?
I don't know. I just saw a hand freeze for a second, and my brain went to like a bunch of different things. I swear that Lord of the Rings game where you like put your hand on the orc's head or whatever and turn them. I was like, my brain went to that for some reason.
That's funny.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
Dave, bro, Dave is really cooking right now, bro.
Dave gets a little more polishing under his belt. Shit's really gonna start flying as long as he's doing it. And for me, he needs to Feige that shit as much as he possibly can. He needs to be in every goddamn writer's room. Like, pick a day of the week. I'm fucking with you people on Monday. I'm fucking with you people on Tuesday. I'm coming in there and seeing your bullshit on Wednesday. You Thursday, you Friday. Then I'm taking the weekend off because y'all are gonna have me fucking fired up, and we'll do it all again on Monday. Rinse and
or spend the weekend on
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Yeah. That's what needs to happen though. Like, straight up.
Well, he's the creative director now,
Okay,
so he has
phase 1 through 3 Feige. That is.
Aye.
Specifically.
It would really be amazing to see them launch all 3 timelines and have like a High Republic head, an Old Republic head, a Dawn of the Jedi, the future Rey shit, and we could just correlate all that together. But it's like so much stuff. They gotta literally pick and choose what time frames they want to talk about first. If it was me, I'm going Dawn, and I'm just working through Old Republic all the way back to the present. Full send.
That's how I'm reading the books. I'm not even up to A New Hope yet because I'm like starting in the way ago because I'm that fucking guy when it comes to my books and shit and my movies.
I'm with you.
Like, even if I find something I only like a little bit of, like if it's part of a series, I gotta go backwards. If I come in the middle, I have to, and then come back through. Generally, I don't mind rereading shit that's good anyway, so I have no problem reading the middle like a second or third time even.
Well, you read something for the first time
roll.
for the thing, and then the second time for the writing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean you're right there. Those theaters were packed out, from what I understand. So,
Which
and I'm not
still,
saying he can't do it.
no,
Yeah,
that just
I
pisses me
know.
off. I live in Los Angeles. Like, this is where you put things in theaters, and there was no Ahsoka episode 5 in the entire frickin' county. Like,
Oh, that's whack that's whack, dude.
it is.
That's messed up. That's messed up. Ooh, how did we enjoy Thrawn's parting words to Ahsoka? His little "fuck you very much" speech right before they kicked in the hyperdrive.
Mm-hmm.
That felt
Yeah, we
great.
all talked about how like
Felt
incapable he was the whole time. He did get away.
Yeah.
Like he did do what he
Well,
like. That was what he saw.
Not
Like,
incapable.
I saw people arguing about like, why did he shoot all the missile barrage down at them? It just slowed him down. He should have just kept leaving.
That
I'm
was his
like, bro,
point.
holy
Come on, guys.
oh my god, yeah. So it's just like, woo. The man did what he said he was gonna do.
I thought,
He always does. I don't know.
I mean, it's it's like sports. Some wins are beautiful, some wins are ugly. It's still a fucking win.
It's true.
True.
It's true. And with the amount of resources,
This
you
may have
did it
been a
with,
slightly ugly
man.
win, but like who was it said earlier? I think it was Sabersmith. That was Thrawn with super limited resources. So basically,
yeah.
like he had half a set of he had half a chess set he was playing with.
Mhm.
He had half
There.
a ship. That thing was
Now
rebuilt
that-
too.
Yeah.
Exactly. And no big engines were working, which is why they had to bring the ISI on down to it. Its big fucking propulsors.
Oh yeah, you're right.
One was like gone, and the other one was crushed. Like that's why that's why the ISI had to come down to the Star Destroyer instead of
It was literally a
going
tow.
up into orbit, like you would think.
Mhm.
It literally was a tow. It was an
Yep.
intergalactic fucking tow. From Peridia to Dathomir.
Yeah.
It's like we're back in the prequels with the little hyperspace rings. Just
I know, right?
Yeah. This one's got actually. How many of you guys have read the Legends novel Outbound Journey?
I have
I have
not.
not.
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Well,
Nope.
that novel, which was written after the Heir to the Empire trilogy, I had not read that, and I've read Outbound Flight, I think it's called. And it happens during the Clone Wars, and it's a colonization mission, and it's like a central, like, area for people to be in shit, and like 4 or 5 hyperspace engines were built around it. But it's basically a colonization mission, which it included some Jedi and engineers, blah blah blah, sample the population. The head Jedi on that mission was Joruus Sabayoth, and at some point in time, and because these side characters end up being thrown through being shot in their hyperdrive, they get thrown into like the unknown regions, and they run across Thrawn, tell him about the normal part of the galaxy. So he comes to the normal part of the galaxy, or at least the part of the normal part of the galaxy that mission happens to be flying through, and that's where he and Joruus Sabayoth encounter each other, and Thrawn kills him. Crashes. I imagine, like, timeline wise, that in order to get his clone that he had near the Empire, he just had to go back to the crash site and dig him out. At least dig out enough remains to make him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that
they
was
could
my
if it was
first
Aaron
interaction with those
Malakos.
two characters.
Aye.
Like Thrawn hadn't even been kicked out of the Ascendancy yet at the end of that book. He was still active in the Ascendancy at the end of that novel. So
Those are books I'm upset. I'm like very detached from, because I feel like there's some really good shit in there about Thrawn and Anakin and all that stuff. Like, had I have read those and him like name dropping Anakin probably was way more impactful for those people. And I'm just like, oh yeah, they did know each other, didn't they?
yeah, see that shit I hadn't read. I can't. Did that come from
Mhm.
comics or was that books? See, I'm not even sure about that.
It's the Timothy Zahn novels. There's 3.
That's the new canon novel.
Are you
The
talking
new-
about the 90s ones or the canon ones?
No, there's
The-
like
the
new.
modern.
There's like new.
Yeah,
all of
is
these
that the
really
ones you're
haven't
talking
read
about?
any
Is-
I was talking about the new one. Sorry, just like the current.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to know.
Mhm.
Okay.
And not for nothing, like Zahn is credited in a lot of writing, not just this show. Like,
Yeah.
he is fully involved. So they could even, I'm hyped for Hayden coming back. Like, they really could do a lot with the young
yeah.
Me
Anakin.
too.
Yeah, they really could do a lot with him.
John Wick's dog before the Noti.
Yes, exactly. No one leaves the planet if one of them dies.
Just seeks
Scorched
revenge.
earth on a motherfucker. You do not touch my turtle crab thing, you motherfucker.
Hey, a little Night Sister magic. We got a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles walking
Oh
around.
shit! Yes.
Oh,
my God.
dude, you're
Yo,
right.
Boss Logic.
They could
Boss
just
Logic,
capture
get on
them
that
all
right
and-
now.
Come on.
And,
Oh,
and
Lord.
do to them what they did to fucking Savaggio Press, man. Just
I need
oh,
that fan
dude,
art
that
now.
would be fucking sick.
Honestly, though,
You
Just
know,
got
I'll bet
slingshots
you they would end up
drawn,
look-
green eyes.
I'll bet you they would
They're
end up,
gonna-
end up looking a lot like the Raiders. Probably. I think they'd end up looking a lot like the Raiders if that happened.
they're going
I'm-
to turn in
I'm
like
firmly convinced
normal,
they're-
like red ear
I'm
sliders
really
and
convinced they're
alligators.
related
and
somehow.
We always do this to the cutest shit. We did it to the Ewoks too. There, we got the whole like plot about the Ewoks killing stormtroopers and eating them and shit. It's like,
That's crazy.
Right.
It makes so much sense, though. They did it in the
Okay.
movies, kind of. They didn't show it. They're probably eating stormtroopers
Right.
at the very end of Return of the Jedi, which is kind of
Yeah.
no,
weird.
Ezra was a stormtrooper. He had the helmet on. He just got on a ship and left.
Yeah, that because remember when he got tossed up on the ship, the one got actually kicked off the end of the ship, the other one just got knocked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looked around, saw that shuttle sitting there in front of all the TIE fighters down on the deck, dragged dude off into a corner, put his armor on like he's done. How many fucking times in Rebels has he done that shit?
That moment
Just
felt
trotted
very
his ass onto that shuttle.
Yeah.
And, you know, probably had to do some like fancy Jedi-ing a little bit in order to get out of there, but I don't imagine it was too difficult. Nothing he hadn't done in Rebels like any number of times already.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I just know for the next week.
They
I'm gonna
didn't
think
let him
about-
hug. That was some fucking bullshit. Like they started to walk and then they fucking swapped back to Peridia though when Ezra and Hera met. That was some bullshit.
yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
They fucked up the emotion of that completely.
Pacing.
That's actually one of the things one of the things I dislike the most because it's like, what the fuck, man? I mean, he
But
had the perfect
to
tone
be
of voice
fair,
of
that
Hera and home.
she sold that. She sold that. Like,
That's what,
That
yeah.
emotion
That
was
was
there.
that was probably Winstead's best version of Hera the whole show. Seems like a lot of people hit their peak in this episode, which is kind of how you want it.
I feel like
I
you're.
guess
I
for
feel
me,
like you're.
just like some people
I feel
shouldn't
like you're
be
hating a
as
little bit.
far away from the peak as they.
I feel like you're hating a little
I'm not
bit.
hating.
Yeah,
I'm
man. She
just
was
annoyed
great.
that they fucked that up. What, Mary Elizabeth?
She
was
had
good.
strong performances pretty much the whole time.
Oh yeah,
Whole time.
Her and Jason was great.
I'm not saying
Well,
she
Jason-
sucked. I'm just saying that was her best moment.
He's a kid, you know. But
Yeah.
Hera,
Oh.
I even say Sabine was like, because she did her job very well. Rosario Dawson,
I mean, her character
to me, bodied her
always been a bit
performance. It was
abrasive.
great. Exactly. That's why I'm like, she
I
did
mean,
she did her
always
job.
been
She
a bit abrasive
was her.
anyway. It was like her thing.
The only person, if we're talking acting, that I don't think, like, if she looked the character perfectly, but Natasha Lubordizo gave the most wooden performance of Sabine possible, and it hurts me that like when what's his first name that plays Ezra? Is it Amon Esfandi or something like that?
Yeah, I believe it's
Something like that.
Okay. I mean, he like you can tell that dude did his homework. He's got the mannerisms of Ezra down. Like everything's to a T, whether the character's written perfectly or not. The mannerisms are down. He's done his homework. Where
Yeah.
Natasha Lubordizo is in an interview saying like, I didn't watch the second half of this, like season 3 and 4 of Rebels, so I would have my version of the character in for the show. I'm just like, you can't do that shit. Like, you can't. Like, you have to go and do your homework. And the proof's in the pudding. Where her performance is she didn't do a bad job, and she won me over about halfway through, then lost me again, I think, in episode 6 a little bit. But it's not a bad performance. It's definitely not. And she looks the part. She looks perfect. But her performance next to anybody else is wooden. And it sucks because I feel like where there are a lot of like you get on screen with a bunch you see actors get on screen with actors of like high caliber actors, and you see those people that might not have that same kind of repertoire under their belt raised to the occasion and rise to that occasion with them, where it felt like everybody that was with her became a little bit more wooden at those times, which I think hurt the series as a whole. And that's just me going like Mr. Producer, like trying to like really nitpick and stuff. And I have to nitpick for that. But it is something that did just it's going to stick with me still. And I don't know if she's right to actually play this character. She didn't do a bad job. It just wasn't the character, you know? It was a different character.
For me,
we all see
I
things
always
put
knew
us in
that
Josh is from film school mode. It happens.
I was just gonna say, for me, I always knew that a grown-up Sabine would be kind of a bitch. So she's playing that role pretty. She's playing that role pretty well.
Well, yes, but she'd have personality. She spray paints things every 30 seconds. Whether you get older, you still are artful. We didn't see her do anything artful this entire time. She is a creative like force. Like she expresses herself through that, I guess.
Did you see any change in her? Did you see any change in her after they actually got to Ezra and he was alive, or no? Because
no, and that was the bad part. That one moment where like when they get to Ezra, like the end of episode 6, I think was the like. I was like, this is where I want you to be good. And it was
she's still holding secrets at that point, too. Like, she's still
That's
like, I gotta tell this motherfucker I brought Thrawn and gave him the thing. And
so, yeah, but she's got personality, and she didn't have personality.
She's got personality issues.
She does.
Like, I thought she did good at that aspect of it. The struggle. I felt the struggle at times.
I think the problem is they wrote that character to be hiding shit the whole time. And you see that reflected in how she's acting on her. Like, bro, like when you're hiding something, you're not up front, and she's literally hiding something to the actual end of the fucking series. Mm-hmm. Like, just like, even though her line is impactful, she doesn't tell Ahsoka really what she feels out there. Like, she's just, it's nothing. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Like, she's hiding something and not telling something. She doesn't tell Ezra what's really going on until Ahsoka literally has to come down and she slips and says, I thought you were dead. Like, she doesn't say shit. So I don't blame her. I think she did well. I think at the end of the day, like they wrote the character to be hiding something the whole fucking time. And that really hurt the character.
Yeah. I just think it's a serviceable performance overall, where the others were I honestly, the first half with Rosario Dawson, like, she played Ahsoka better as the night nurse in the Netflix series in the first half of Ahsoka than she did the second half. She caught up, and Ahsoka the White's great, but obviously we want to see that kind of dullness, not necessarily dullness at all. That's not what to say, but that the character struggle to get to Ahsoka the White, where instead of a struggle, it was there's the plot points were struggling. We never saw the character struggle per se. We just saw it felt just wooden. Where Filoni himself he's never, I don't know if that was him or whoever else came on to help write or whatever, but everything Filoni's ever done has never been that wooden, whether it be Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Clone Wars, Rebels, whether he's just executive producing on Star Wars Resistance. Like, Star Wars Resistance had more heart in those characters, especially in that first half of the season. And I don't know. I think that just hurts the series overall, because it is just serviceable instead of letting those characters shine and have their moments.
Well, that's where I disagree with you, because like for me, Ahsoka, it was weird, but like, she's dealing with shit. And especially people that watch Rebels, like, we know she's not okay with her master being Darth Vader. So for her, she was still like, when you're depressed, you're not plucky. Like, she's depressed. Let's keep it a buck. She's depressed. She's going through the motions. when you're going through the motions, you're not always in your best. You're not always making jokes. And the thing is, her character still to me, it still felt like an older Ahsoka that's been through shit. And then when she goes and finally lets that burden off of her with Anakin, we're talking about great performance. Hayden fucking Christensen fucking bodied it.
Yeah, he did.
When she comes out, she's a lot, you said it. She's a lot more hopeful.
Yeah.
She's just better. I'm not saying better, but she's just more of that bright side, looking at the bright side of things. But I feel like that's how it was supposed to, because she's not depressed about it. She understands my master is good. I'm not hating that I'm, the pupil of Anakin Skywalker. Like, that's where that's where I disagree. I'm like, dude, that's how she was probably supposed to be.
That's the existential aspect of it, but she's on a mission, and we've seen her depressed at the end of Clone Wars before, where she's with the Martez sisters. I mean, obviously that's not like the best arc to ever like quote back to all the time, but she was clearly depressed that entire arc and had a hell of a lot of personality all the time. There was the one thing that hurts me the most about this show, which I don't know if it's a Dave thing. I don't really think it is at the end of the day, but I think it's probably a studio thing, is the execution of the show, but the pacing and all that kind of works together in the sense of it hits plot points and it doesn't really give these characters room to breathe in the way they should. And the first half of the show really suffers for that, I think, and really with Ahsoka, where it doesn't feel like her show in the first half, and that's why. They could have still had all that stuff there and be prevalent. Like, it makes sense, yes, that an older version of her wouldn't be as talkative, would be depressed, all these different things, and she would handle that depression different than a younger version of her would. But she's still the same person, and she would still at least act in similar ways instead of just disassociating with everything, which she never has done. Even in Rebels with Fulcrum, she couldn't help. Like, she tried to disassociate and she couldn't, And she has a mission on hand. At the end of the day, she was raised with a military mind. Like, she knows what's going on. It just didn't feel like that was going on. And I guess at the end of the day, long story short, I'm ADD as hell. I'll go in 70 different directions. It was the series. I think the biggest hiccup for me for the series is just plot point, and there's no room to breathe besides just a little bit for Baylan, which is why Baylan shines so well for the series, even though we really didn't get much from him, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, Ray Stevenson, R.I.P. sir, was just, hey Alan, was just if he was in the scene, it didn't fucking matter who else was in the scene. Like, period. That was it. Any scene he was in was Ray Stevenson's scene. Period. And he was so damn good.
Very, very well written character.
Even with like,
He was
yes, extremely well written character.
And
even the
and
20 seconds of him that we got at the end of the show, like, he just stood there magnificently. Like, the dude is the best.
Magnificently.
And like, some people can just hit that pose and make it look natural. He's fucking one of them.
Shut up.
Dude, I'm fucking serious.
so
He
majestic.
stood.
It
The way
was.
the wind
Standing
hit
on
his
the
beard.
Like, and it was a
He's
hell of a
waiting for
lot less
just around the
cheesy than a lot of
riverbend to
Marvel
start
fucking
playing.
poses we get. Bitches. Anyway, but yeah, Ray Stevenson like owned it, and it was fun to watch. And he's definitely going to be missed. He's going to be very hard to recast, but they got to recast him because you can't like do something with him off screen with leaving him where he's at. Like, that's a must recast. Like, you have to.
You know how I know that
Have
was
to.
all Dave's creation too is how much he felt like an older Darth Maul. I don't know if anybody got that shit, but like after Maul was like super crazy and kind of came back down a little bit, that Maul was sick, and Baylan just like total vibe with that.
Yeah, bro.
He felt like the type of like bad guy that would have survived Obi-Wan and Darth Maul's fight. and been like, oh, well, now I
Mm.
got this knowledge. I'm gonna play this
Yeah.
like I
Good
should,
now.
kind of thing.
For me, I'm gonna say this. This might be crazy to say, but he felt like what Qui-Gon Jinn would have been if he didn't die.
Yeah,
Love
that's
that
good. I
too.
like that.
Love
A
that
little
too.
bit, yeah.
Because I'm not gonna say Qui-Gon would have gone that extreme, but like I could see Qui-Gon going through that path.
Because Balin's like a dial back from Dooku, and Qui-Gon, whether he would have gone as far, he would have been disillusioned with the Jedi. I don't think he would have gone like
Mhm.
Dooku far. So it would have been like that dial back. I think that's perfect.
Exactly.
I like
And especially when he didn't feel good about wanting to kill Ahsoka.
Mm.
That's when I was like, there's something
Right.
about this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got something in him.
Yeah. He was extremely well written. I mean,
It kind of
Shin was pretty well written too. Like Ivana Sekna
She
did a
was.
damn good job with that character as well.
Balin has that
I mean,
respect for
who
the
the fuck
Force.
else have you seen that didn't blink for like
does.
what 5 hours of TV? Bitch didn't blink once until like she let it happen one time when she moved her eyes to the left, I think, and then she just let
Y'all
it
are
go and blinked
crazy.
a ton after that. That bitch didn't
Y'all
blink
are
for like 5 fucking episodes.
crazy. Y'all are crazy for really paying attention. I was like, dude, she's just a little menacing. What the fuck are we doing
Mhm.
counting our blinks for?
This isn't
Because there
Wednesday.
weren't any for 5 episodes. There was nothing to count. That's why it was
Dude,
odd.
dude, no, y'all are the same people that were saying Sabine had a booty. Stop it. Come on now.
No, I said no. Hera has
Leave the
cake. Sabine had cupcakes. That's what I fucking said.
Look,
God damn it.
the character that plays Sabine is a beautiful woman, but we all know Hera had the cake, and so, we don't know about
Oh,
Ahsoka
yes.
because she was in nothing but MC Hammer pants. But like, come on, guys, that's what all y'all was. It's like, come on.
There's a reason
you
Ewan McGregor, Miss Winston.
He came up. Let's say this. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obi-Wan is Kenobi right where he should.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Obi-Wan gets that cake.
Like you'd think it'd be hard for for Obi-Wan, for Ewan McGregor, whoever the hell I'm trying to talk about, to marry up, but he managed, or at least equal, you know, equidistant, something, I don't know.
Oh shit. So
So I got.
what do you think
ahead, go
about
ahead.
some people's complaint that some of them felt like they should have gone back and watched Rebels and maybe even Clone Wars and were like, that's dumb, I shouldn't have to do homework or whatever. How do you feel about that contingent of people that watch this show?
Like I agree that you shouldn't have to watch something going into something, and you really shouldn't. Like that's one of the things I think Star Wars hurts with, that every single project that comes out, it should be able to attract new people just as much as it does us, you know, people that just grew up with it or adore it or love it one way or another. But that being said, I did watch Rebels, and I literally finished, or I rewatched Rebels, and my rewatch ended, I think 2 days before, or no, I like literally the day before episode 5 came out, which was just perfect with all the more to start going into everything. And it was just like,
Nice.
Ahsoka felt like a cherry on top at that point, where I could feel why people were like, what's going on? Just jumping in for the first time, I guess. And that's why I'm kind of, I feel bad for them with the way the series, or the season 1 at least ended, I guess, where it might be underwhelming for those who like understand what's going on, but like, would it even be whelming, I guess, for anybody that is just coming in like the first time around? Like, I don't know where their mind would be at all, you know? But
Yeah.
off my soapbox.
How about you, Scotty?
I
Going around the
think
plot.
I think that the fan base needs to educate themselves. If they were disappointed in not knowing a thing, they can find the answer. I don't think everybody has to, but if that's the reason that you're disappointed in a show, and I'm trying to be as politically correct as I can here, because in my opinion, it's the uneducated fans that ruin a lot of the stuff for the sweaties. And I say uneducated, casual, whatever you want to call it, but like, you really do have to watch the stuff. Star Wars is the only IP that I think you actually do have to watch the stuff. Everything is Legends. None of that is a continuity they're going to pull from like Marvel. You don't know what's going to be written. If you want to know how it connects, they've done a pretty damn good job at telling us. I also soapbox the canon tier list. So movies, TV, novel, comics. They can be retconned, not a dirty word. They all supersede each other. I don't think retcons ruin anything for me. Dave himself has said, I'll retcon shit I didn't think I'd get the chance to tell in live action. Absolutely, I will. Like, wouldn't you as a creative? Like, people are funny. I don't think people would make choices if they were the ones telling the story, wanting people to know their whole story. I don't know. You're missing big gaps. You are. That's literally the facts.
Justin, my guy.
I think if you're,
What you think?
I think like if you're missing, yes, if you want to learn, you need to just go, figure out. There's definitely ways. At this point, you're watching Ahsoka at this point, so you definitely have Disney Plus, so you can easily go do it. So for that to be I have to go lunch this and that to learn this is kind of like, yeah, you're annoying. But I also stand a point where like you also know there's still the stigma around cartoons
That's true.
that we really haven't unfortunately gotten, which I don't know how, because I'm about to get on my favorite movie of all time. We're not past this after Spider-Verse. Like, how the fuck are we not past this after
Right.
Spider-Verse? So
Come on.
for me, it's
Facts.
like, yeah, I understand, because there are still a lot of weird stigmas about the cartoon stuff, and especially since this cartoon came out a long time before. So there are ways that they could have, piecemealed it for us, for like this happened real quickly. But at the same time, bro, there's so many avenues that they can go find out and figure it out. Cliff Notes it. So,
dude, in Star Wars, to their credit, is doing their best job at trying to take one age of a fandom and mesh it with the other age of a fandom. Rebels launched on Disney XD, bro.
exactly.
Like,
and that's what,
Y'all
unfortunately,
gotta
that's what hurts it.
understand. But the streaming and the marketing, like, of Ahsoka, and now Ezra's here, like, they're not dumb. They're not worried about people being disappointed in the show now because they haven't seen XYZ. They know they're gonna go back and watch XYZ now, and they're gonna be like, wow, that shit is crazy. It makes so much sense now. We've been doing that since 77. And I'm like, where does it stop? Like, are we gonna be 100, like literally 100 years out into this fandom, still writing continuity? Like, I believe 50, 100 years from now, if Star Wars is still an IP, that this timeline will have continued. Are you gonna say you're connecting stuff way out here that ties back to 77, and you're gonna bitch to me that you didn't know about it because you didn't watch the OT? Like, where does it end, bro?
But to me, that's a little bit different, because it's Disney XD.
I know, but it's
Disney
now.
XD.
It's all available at your fingertips, man.
But when it came
Go.
out, bro, the only reason I knew what the fuck Disney XD was is because I was like fucking in my teens at that point.
And
Disney
that was the other
XD.
point, is like we're growing with this too. So it's like the people that show launched for, they've grown up with Sabine and Ezra, and now they're like, yo, this is insane. So
But it's Disney XD. You know what I'm saying? Like, look,
I know.
ESPN and ESPN2. ESPN2 gets way less viewers than ESPN, let alone ESPN3.
Yeah.
Disney XD is like ESPN5. So let's.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
And you.
Actually, someone
ESPN.
Oh, look at David.
Someone made a really funny comment on one of my shorts, because I've been kind of trying to troll like the casuals, like go educate yourself, this and that. And someone said, how do you watch a show in competitive ranked mode? And I said, if you can finish Star Wars Resistance, you hit platinum.
Oh my god.
because literally no one's watched that show. If you
Yeah.
can make it through all the canon and watch Resistance, you are at top tier.
Can I have a crown? Because season 2 is
Yes.
much better than season 1. Season 1 was
Yeah.
not good, but season 2, there was some
I
decent
watched
shit in there.
I watched both seasons for just that reveal at the end about what the actual ship was. That was the coolest thing.
Yeah, exactly. I just want the ship to be somewhere. Like, that'd just be badass. But everything else, maybe not.
Anyway.
Look at David's comment here. I would say this here is probably the ideal outcome for Disney. Enjoyed us, watched all of Ahsoka, and was curious enough about Rebels to go back and start giving them some viewership numbers.
I hope.
Yeah.
That is probably the ideal outcome for them.
Mhm.
Now, have
And
you
he
guys
said he's
ever
enjoying
considered that maybe? Have you ever considered that maybe Dave made it for us and didn't really care so much about the normies because there's the
See, he
those
would have
of us
added.
old enough to know about all of this shit in good context are the ones that he needs to get back first before he even needs to worry about the normies. He needs a court. You don't. We're the ones that brought the normies in the fucking first place. It's like that with Star Wars. It's like that with Marvel. It's like that with DC. Your core audience, once they're fucking happy, they'll be fucking loud about it, and they will bring their normie friends. They will cheer to their normie friends. That's how Marvel blew up in phases 1, 2, and 3. The hardcores are like, this shit is dope.
Bro,
and they spread the fucking word. Got some normies
the fans that
in,
carried
and
Wanda
poof.
through the first half.
Yep.
The fandom literally carried Wanda through the first half of that series, and then everybody was like, yo, this series is amazing. But
What, WandaVision?
yeah. Oh, the people that hated like the timepiece skipping, and they're like, what the hell is going on? I have no idea what's happening in the show. It was
That's
the
not their
YouTube. It was the YouTube sweaties that were like, nah, man, bro, wait. Just wait. Wanda's gonna lose her shit.
Blazerhawk. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. ESPN2 was like, oh, that's ESPN2 had cornhole competitions. That should tell you right there.
that was
Okay.
No, they have that now. Back in the day, it was like
They don't
was
have
the
it
X
anymore.
Games.
It got canceled.
X Games.
No, X Games is on ESPN1. Like
Because they
ESPN.
stole it from 2.
No, because they're like, let's give these guys a little bit more. No, they had Travis Pastrana do a double backflip. They're like, we need this guy, okay?
Seriously though, I think Dave is smart enough to think like that. That's why I don't
Well,
think
it's all
he
the
cared
new
so
stuff
much
he's
about
doing,
like
man.
part of the audience not giving two shits, or part of the audience being like, "What the fuck? I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I don't know what some of his motivation is." And he did not give a fuck because he needs us before he can get them anyway.
So partially for the underwhelming aspect of it, and partially for just devil's advocacy. But what was in the series that he left for the Sweaties besides the Mortis aspect of things? Literally, besides the Mortis aspect and besides the Night Sisters, what's in there for the Sweaties? Because it feels like to me like, but they're not. They're not. They're in the concept art. They're not in the episodes. I feel like
is what you were saying though. It is the Mortis.
Well, you mean like the actual Zephyr?
because
the
the sweaty fans that are watching this show are the sweaty Clone Wars Rebels fans. That's who are here. We're here for that. The Mortis stuff.
I hate to say it. That's all you fucking need. That's all you need
For this era.
you
for
throw
this
up
show,
Anakin on
for
there.
Ahsoka.
Yes, yeah, that's all you fucking need.
Yeah,
And to be
Ahsoka-
honest,
Or
man,
prequel.
I don't know. I need
Dude,
stories.
already
This
love
felt like a
Anakin.
first half of a season and not like a full season at the end of the day. I need actual story. That's something that Filoni's been so great about his entire career. And this, there was no ending. There was no actual ending to this season. It's not even a cliffhanger, really.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
season
it
two's
feels like a mid-season finale, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it's because of Ray's passing and changes may have needed, that cliffhanger may needed to stick like that. You never know. But for me, it's the unknown. We're going to unknown places.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
just,
is the most hype for me.
we
Literally all
got-
that other shit with
got-
Ezra, like save Ezra. Yeah, fine, sure. I care about Balin, Shin, this new planet, the new tech, all that shit you just said, Dathomir. Like that's my list. Nothing else matters. Honestly, Anakin for me in this, he didn't need to show up yet. I didn't need Anakin to meet her yet. She's not like You know, give her the Padawan, let her train somebody, let her get approached towards a Jedi Master type of level. Qui-Gon didn't even show to Obi-Wan, you know, until later in his life. So people like that complaint that did Sabine sense him first? Bro, they sensed him at the same goddamn time. Can we relax? Like,
No.
I disagree. I don't know.
All she sensed was something.
Yeah, she
Couldn't
literally
put a
was just
name
like,
to it.
oh,
In the end, all she could do,
shadows
like,
in the
shadows in the
starlight.
starlight.
She has no idea what
Like,
she's
she had
even
no
talking
idea
about.
that it was Anakin at all.
Well, what do you know,
She
man?
just
We're
felt-
freaking don't know because she decided to hide it.
Okay,
Wait,
so
wait.
Dark Side Sabine, you agree with me?
Yeah.
I mean, if it happens, that'd be such a. I mean, that'd be actually a weird ass
It
arc
would be weird as
for her
shit,
to just turn dark side when
It would.
Ezra's not going to the dark side at this point. I mean, hell, I don't even think he qualifies for it at this point. But sorry, that was low. But to be fair, I don't even think like these people that are bitching about going to see Rebels. I don't even think they even got to see Rebels at this point, especially once you get through it. It's like it's piecemealed for you.
Yeah.
You in this, I don't even want to shit on like the finale because this is the first time in a long time I'm like, what the fuck's gonna happen next? You got Thrawn coming back. I personally want to see what's going on with Anakin coming back and, you know, having the daughter Morai there and all that good stuff. I want to know what's going on with Baylan. What the hell is Shin gonna do? Because she's left there. There's so much alleyway. How are they gonna come back and get them? I've never had this feeling to where like I'm ready for a second season. Like I don't care about any second seasons for another season for pretty much any other show they have right now.
She's about to be Shin the
I'm right there with you.
Barbarian leading them raiders. That's what's happening. That wasn't a threatening sword raise. That was, I am now your fucking queen, y'all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Get ready. That's what that shit
yeah.
was. She's taking them over. And that's probably going to be a massive source of conflict in season 2 on the Peridian side. I mean, we'll get discoveries of Baylan and whatever it is he's going after. Those many theories obviously abound. But I'm pretty sure like Shin Raiders versus Ahsoka, Sabine, and the cute little roly polies. I figure that's going to happen at least once. There's going to be one kind of, you know, epic little thing at that point. Because
I'm very curious
by Ahsoka, and she was obviously not very happy about it. And the reason she
I
didn't go
don't
back
want to
Thrawn
have
is
to write
because
this
he
shit.
pulled back those night troopers on her. So she's like, well, fuck this guy. I'm going to go take these dumb sons of bitches over and do some shit.
I don't know how they're going to make this all work without it getting real sloppy with Thrawn, because there's no evidence of a Thrawn threat before First Order. Like, it's never been spoken about. I'm very, very curious what they do with it. I would actually love them to just have Thrawn go home and come back after the First Order's dead and be the heir to the heir to the Empire.
I would be
Like I mean, like, honestly, if he comes back and he's like, wait, the Empire, this is still Palpatine. Like, this is still, everything's still good here. Let me go check on my people now. I got this new hyperspace tech. I don't know. I think they gave him that tech for a reason. The intergalactic travel.
You'd think so. Yeah. They've got to do something with it.
I don't think it was just about getting him home to here.
I think the Night Sister or the Great Mothers start opening those coffins, and like he's going to end up with like literally an undead army. Before, I imagine he's going to have all that set up before he goes to confront the Shadow Council, and then they all fall in line because he's going to go see him live. You know that ain't going to be a hologram session. He's going to go in there and try and, you know, be his normal imposing self with his ultra calm voice, no matter what the situation is, and, you know, fuck some
great
shit
impression.
up with an army of
Lars
undead
did the
Night
voice
Sisters
and
and
look
undead stormtroopers at his back, and Enoch. He'll be able to build his army fairly quickly after that, I would imagine. It might take him, what, once everything's done on Dathomir, Thrawn being what he is, maybe 6 months to basically take over a decent enough chunk of the Outer Rim to be like, yeah, I'm fucking serious, bitches. And then, you know, all his good little Shadow Council goes, oh, Master, we're here. And then, you know, poof, army. And, you know, once someone reaches a certain point of strength, like even the most chicken shit Empire sympathizers will start coming out of the woodwork at that point. You know, once they feel the tide has shifted, they'll start popping up all over the motherfucking place. New Republic won't know what the hell to do for a minute.
That's the thing. I'm just waiting for there to be for the Empire of the Hand to at least start forming. I just expected there to be some semblance of that already by the time we get to Peridia, and then of course they completely subject our what we expect Thrawn to be and have, I guess, because we're used to having him have all these resources, and he has next to none, which is cool. And we see him escape kind of close, but still, he managed to escape with very few resources. So how does he acquire these new ones? And why weren't there any good ones in Peridia? You know, I don't. There's a bunch of bandits everywhere. Did he not just do some recruiting eventually? Like, you know, I don't know. I'd like to know where that guy's.
That planet looked like it'd been fucked up like a long ass time ago and was like maybe just now starting to recover some. So who the fuck knows?
Those bandits probably eating them themselves.
There might not be that much for the Raiders to salvage, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking global catastrophe type shit.
What Sci-Fi Quest said, dude, that line, you know how Josh was saying he was hoping they're gonna bring him back and go past the sequels. That line right there, I was like, yeah, that's definitely not happening. That's definitely not happening.
Well, that's Dave. That's Dave towing the company line, and just enough.
He put quite a few things in there that let you know that he's bringing them. He's bringing them back into this, you know, to make sure it correlates with the sequels and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but at least he's going to take his time about it, and I'm going to enjoy it. Till then,
time will tell.
Time will tell,
and we'll see what they do after. Well, that's what I'm curious. I liked Lindelof's original idea with Old Gray 30 years after Rise, doing her own Jedi Order thing and having to overcome struggles of doing that. I thought that was going to be dope.
That's the same one that Stephen Knight's writing now, right? That's the Stephen Knight one now? Okay.
That's the one that Stephen Knight is now writing, yeah. He took over after Lindelof left.
I don't know. Well, little
Peaky Blinders story sounded dope.
It sounds dope, and it's kind of like, why didn't y'all just...
Blinders is fucking awesome. So, Stephen Knight can write a fucking story. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Whether he can write a Star Wars story, we'll see. But he can write a motherfucking story. Peaky Blinders is top shelf fucking stuff.
Which, okay. Just so we're talking, we can ask that. I was going to bring it off topic. I was going to say, y'all heard about just while people writing Star Wars stories, like the Mangold idea of like Dawn of the Jedi is not a new idea. Guillermo del Toro had the freaking script written with David S. Goyer. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Like,
when Goyer released that or talked about that in the same interview, and he was also shitting on DC a little bit too,
just a tad
for jumping right into Justice League instead of letting him do a Superman 2 to start setting some stuff up, you know, or Man of Steel.
And if David S. Goyer wants to cook, you let that man cook. That man can write like nobody's business. The best Star Wars space battle I've seen on here was season 2 of Foundation.
You show him to the kitchen, and then let the door close behind him, and you turn the fuck around and walk away.
Just let it happen. Come back the next day.
Yeah. Enough known? No. I've heard that it's actually set up in the galaxy that Peridia is in. It's supposed to be set out there, so I mean, if they're out there, one would assume that this is at least a possibility, but even that isn't where they're going to be at isn't definitely known yet. Although I just saw today it's supposed to come out in January, much sooner than I thought it would. I don't know how that's going to happen. Technically, the actors aren't even off strike yet. So,
well, as long as
but
they
yeah,
don't.
the rumor is that's
worry
set in
about
the same galaxy that Parity is in. So there's a possible connection if that's accurate. Whipster.
I'll be right back.
God, eggs sound good though. Eggs do sound good. But yeah. So that show is still a lot of speculation. We know it's Jude Law and of some kids of a variety of ages on a spaceship trapped somewhere. That's all we know for sure. Like,
yeah.
They're going to have to do a lot of marketing as soon as the actors are back, like a shit ton. If they want to release that thing in January and it's already fucking October, I mean, it'll,
Hey, I'm not
even
opposed,
if SAG-AFTRA hustles through these negotiations, it's still going to be mid-October by the time everything's actually settled. And the actors actually set foot on lots again. I mean, it'll be before Halloween, but it's a question
they've
of
already
a week
filmed
or two.
Skeleton Crew. They've already filmed Skeleton Crew.
Well, yeah, but they're going to need promotion, and so they're going to need actors back for that. They're going to need Jude Law out there pimping fucking hard for that shit. They're going to need. They're going to want to parade. They're going to want to parade that group of kids around for the cutesy factor. Like that shit is all necessary. If it's gonna come out 2.5 months after the strike is over, you're gonna have to run those little fuckers ragged.
Do you think part of that is like, okay, well, obviously Ahsoka might not have done the numbers that they wanted it to, but it did decent enough numbers, and it looks at least like the numbers went up a little bit by the end. Do you think they're thinking, well, we managed this without needing actors to go out there and do stuff, and even though by then actors might be able to go out there and talk and market and do all these things, really you have Jude Law and a bunch of kids and maybe other characters that you don't want to like expose that are in there, and you kind of leave for the people to actually like learn about in the show, like a Grogu or whatever kind of deal. But you don't necessarily want to parade around a bunch of kids marketing, you know? It might be a good idea for them to do quick.
They did a lot of that for
a few things
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Those kids were out and about all over the place. The little voice actors.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying they won't. It's just there's a lot more laws that go into like there are certain times that you have to be off. It's kind of a set. You have to give them a certain amount of time, and then there's a between work and going into something the next day. I mean, there's a slew of different things. Plus, children are just children. They might spoil everything that you don't want to be spoiled on accident in the middle of an interview. I mean, under a little heat, you know, like I don't know. I feel like January would not be the worst, especially if it's only Jude Law that ends up being their advertisement, their marketing guy, which would be so great.
Right, yeah.
Dude Law just walks around saying like, I am the law, and then just gives us a bunch of good marketing for Star Wars. I'm not opposed.
Jesus. I am the there are a variety of ages from, I would say, mid-teens. It's not a room full of Anakin kebabs, if that's what you're asking.
That's crazy.
Anakin kebabs. Anna kebabs. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in Skeleton Crew. There's literally no excitement. Hey, Carrie, how you feeling? There's like no excitement. There's just a reasonable level of curiosity.
Yeah. I've got intrigue and curiosity, not excitement per se.
Yeah, there's no hype. I'm not like, ooh, fucking Skeleton Crew.
I don't know enough to be.
Yeah, we don't know.
It sounds like I'm at the. It sounds like it could be cool. Is where I'm at with that. It sounds like it could be cool.
I am hyped for Acolyte though. That just sounds
Hell
really
yeah.
cool. I don't like what Leslie
That's
Headland
not
said
wrong.
about George Lucas and all that, but everything that she's put out about the show seems freaking cool. So I'm just like, come on, just give us something good, please, please, please.
No
Say it,
comment.
Scotty. Say it,
No.
Scotty.
Nah, I
Hey,
get literally
Chris, thanks for
canceled
coming
when I
in, man.
talk about this shit. So I will hard pass on my comments on Leslie Headland.
Oh, did I say
I
something?
mean,
Leslie Headland, and my defense of her is why I don't stream with X-Wing anymore, for the record. So that's as far as it goes. Like personal attacks because I had an opinion on this person. So y'all are entitled to not like her for things, but I disagree.
I don't dislike her at all. I think she's actually a super great creative. I think she was not very smart in the way she posed that statement after being hired by Lucasfilm. But that's one statement, you know, compared to a repertoire of work that she has. There's a reason she was hired for Acolyte. She's a good creative. I don't have anything wrong with or anything against her.
Yeah, it's just the
Mama,
Star
like-
Wars fandom being the Star Wars fandom, unfortunately.
For that, and
It's
I
gonna
don't know,
hinder.
just
It's
that
gonna
one-
hinder
That
all
section of
the
fandom being
amazing.
that section of the fandom.
Yeah. Well,
It's that section of the fandom being that section of the fandom. Is what that
She
is.
also pulled a little bit of a Rachel Zegler, a little bit. You don't get hired by a company then say like, oh yeah, we're not gonna like George, you know, just but that's it. Just one statement does not negate that she's gonna like not make a good television show. I
think people
complete
need to
faith
go
in-
back and watch the whole interview. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a lot of people out there talking about the interview and what she said, and it's literally not what she was saying at all. So it's hard to talk about it when it's a lot of people's opinions about like fractional things that she said, and they negate everything she said leading up to this point, everything that she has said that got her hired. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, that's the point though. She like kind of Rachel Zegler to a degree. It's like you get
Rachel's-
hired.
She's the Snow White girl, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't compare her
Okay.
to her.
That's why I'm
Yeah,
saying
that
to
was-
a degree, like to like the utmost of like just a little tiny degree. And that's I'm not saying she's gonna make a bad show. I've never said that, and I don't think I ever will. I just you don't get hired by a company to say something bad about the person that founded that company. Typically, that's anywhere you get hired. That's not what you do. You know.
I wouldn't. I don't know. Was it bad?
And there
Was
is
it bad?
context.
Was
It
it
really
bad?
it wasn't awful, but that's not something like what Lucasfilm already has enough trouble marketing and talking to their audience. That's the last thing that they wanted to have out there, is what I'm trying to say.
I think the opposite, bro. I
It's
don't.
not that bad.
No offense to the people that feel that far away. Lucasfilm don't give a shit, bro. They don't. They don't care about like your super overly negative opinion about her one thing she said about George Lucas. They don't care about that. You're not the audience that they're after.
What audience are they after? That's my question now, though.
Not audiences that are outraged by a creative's one thing they said that might actually hold a little bit of weight for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I'd never said anything
So-
against that. I'm just thinking more like
I'd have to rewatch the damn thing at this point anyway.
I know.
I'll be honest.
hate
I
this
barely.
conversation.
I don't even really know
I
what
don't
she
like
said.
talking about
I don't care that much. I've seen like a couple cringe things been said, but that Rachel girl, that stuff, like if it's, I don't know, man. It's just it's Disney as a whole though. They have a PR problem, bro. Like these
That's
are
what I'm
things that
trying
you
to
just
Oh,
these are
yeah.
just things you should, in my opinion, if they're gonna make, like, save it for when the show's released.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't see the interview. I don't really give a fuck, TBH. I mean, at this point, I don't even remember what Acolyte's supposed to be about at this rate. Like it's been talked about like what, 3 years ago. So it'll get here when it's
Yeah,
time.
I've-
type
I
shit.
have.
Getting
I
drowned.
honestly
The
haven't even
awesomeness
thought
of the
about
story.
Leslie Headland in a long time.
Yeah. The awesomeness of what that story is going to be is being drowned out by all the nonsense, unfortunately.
but that's
I mean,
that's
on
why I'm
paper,
like, it's a
from what I
PR thing.
remember, on
Like,
paper, that sounds dope as fuck.
Yeah, and that's all I'm
I
trying to
remember on
say.
paper, that
It's
sounds
strictly a
dope as
PR
fuck.
thing.
I didn't get to see. Did anybody get to see that leak trailer? Because I don't know. I didn't see it.
For Acolyte?
There's a leak acolyte. Oh, yeah, there's a leaked acolyte trailer out there. I've seen people talking about it on TwitX.
I think it's funny they're talking about it now because it leaked like a long time ago.
Did it?
But like people are
Yeah.
getting mad views now, so it's like it's funny.
I just want it to be good.
Yeah.
So I think it is
that's all
going to
I
be
want.
good.
I think so.
it is going to be amazing, and I think it's going to actually get people very hyped about the High Republic. I think that if the show does well enough, this is the only way we get a young Palpatine, Plagueis, Tenebris. Like, it's going to lead to this. I don't know. If that's a spinoff
God, I
you
hope
don't
so.
want, don't watch Acolyte.
well, that's another thing though. I don't even feel like that should be tingent on how this does. That's just me. I don't think that should be tingent on how this does. So,
This is a precursor. That's the only reason I'm like, if this performs and people are like, yo, they can really like do some early dark side stuff here. It really is how they treat the dark side, because we've never seen dark side training. We've never seen them go into hiding. Like, we don't know the plots. You know what I mean? The Sith plots.
yeah, but
Yeah, we
for
haven't.
me, that's why
we've
I'm
only
like,
read. We've only
Acolyte
been able to
doesn't.
read about that shit.
That's why I'm like, Acolyte. I'm looking way more forward to Acolyte than I am Skeleton Crew. I don't know.
Yeah,
if,
big time.
Yes.
like I'll.
Oh, totally.
Y'all are talking about Skeleton Crew. I'm like, dude. Like it's gonna be
Like
it's
said,
gonna be
I'm
there.
prob-
I probably will not watch it. I'm gonna be
curious
completely
about
real with
Skeleton
it.
Crew. Acolyte, I have actually a bit of genuine hype for. I think it sounds amazing on paper. I just need to see the
And the
execution.
cast is just money.
Yeah,
Like that cast is
they got-
great.
that cast slaps. They got some fucking talent in that cast. So
I'm pumped.
I mean, between what's out there about what it's supposed to be about and the cast that's out there, it's setting a bar up there a bit. Like it's setting a goal, so they need to hit that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't put together a cast like that, and and then
I'm just excited
not
to see that
deliver.
many Jedi in like one place again. You know, I just
know.
that the amount of Force users doing their shit. Like, just let us see it. You
Yes.
know,
They're going to be dressed all fancy because it's 100 years before Phantom Menace.
and I do
They'll
like
look at
that
the
kind of
High
high
Republic.
fantasy like aspect of Star Wars when it gets into it, and
Oh,
it's that High Republic feels like that, and it's just give us some
Like,
goodness.
what was
After
the one
Jedi
dude's
Survivor, I'm
name
intrigued.
what's that guy's name in from Survivor?
Dagan Gera, is that right? Dagan Gera, I'm pretty
Gera?
sure. Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, I dug that character. Like from the cutscenes and shit I watched, I thought he was kind of dope. So, and I also want to know like more about the Nile now that I'm thinking about it, because they sounded awful nasty. So, yeah, there's definitely High Republic stuff I'm curious about for sure.
Mhm. Young Yoda too. Just I like the idea of exploring his life a little bit. Still like keeping it
Yeah.
like
You
a
still-
little dicey and not
You can
fully
still
giving us
honor
stuff.
George and still not tell us where he's
He's-
from, but you can tell us what he's like when he's here.
Agreed. And that'd be fun to explore a little bit.
The one of the
that'd be
first
dope.
times
Maybe
in the High Republic comic run, I think it's even the first or second issue, you meet Yoda, and the first time you meet him, he is with Master Vetter, who's also on the council in the Clone Wars. They kind of walk in together. The conversation they have is about how Bacta is being cultivated as a new technology.
That's
It's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool.
That's cool.
That's like Yoda's
That's wild.
introduction.
Doesn't he get lost in the High Republic or something? I haven't
He's
read the
not-
books or the comics.
He is he's doing the Yoda thing. He's got like a ship of Padawan knights that he's doing missions with. So he's not like a direct correlation. He's not talked about a lot, but Kevin Scott has written amazing Yoda comics. Like
And he's great.
homie's a musician. Like he can play multiple instruments. I
Yep.
assume a lot of that he practiced and learned while he was even on Dagobah. So yeah, he definitely has other talents.
was
that
he less
he
hunched
used
when he
to
was
pass
younger?
time.
Is he like a little taller, a little more straight? This
He definitely
one
had
is-
the upright. You guys are gonna hate this. He had a top knot. Yeah,
Actually, that doesn't bother me at all. I've already seen
Samurai.
illustration.
All right, some
already
people are
seen
gonna
fan
hate it.
art
Whatever.
of
You
that
guys
on
are
the
being nice because I have it.
Hey, I'll join you.
I've already seen
Tell
fan art of
me
that
how.
on the internet. I already thought it was cool. Just
It looks
when
like a
I
little
saw some fan
badass,
art
yeah.
of it, I was like, that's kind of killer. Yoda with hair is kind of dope.
Star Wars West Wing. David thinks we're making Acolyte sound like Star Wars West Wing. I don't think it's gonna be like West Wing at all. The prequels are Star Wars West Wing.
That's fucking Andor. That's what Andor. That's Andor. It's Star Wars West
This will
Wing.
be Andor, but cooler with lightsabers.
Yes.
I mean, with lightsabers.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to say it earlier. I
No,
feel
it'll
like
be cooler,
Andor
probably.
almost feel like the sweatiest of sweaties too.
What was that?
It might be a weird statement, but I feel like Andor's actually written for the sweatiest of sweaties, where it feels like it shouldn't be, and you can go in there. It actually has like the more meticulous Easter eggs in the show that are actually like setting up different parts of this world. Where like it had better Easter eggs than Ahsoka technically, besides like a few really like pertinent ones. And I'm not just, I guess, trying to speak up for Andor, but like it has some goodness in there, you know. It is particularly the Easter eggs. I think it helped tie in a hell of a lot. Controversial, maybe.
I'm gonna pull the Scotty on this one and just no comment.
Yeah. It ain't for everybody.
I'm just gonna sum up Andor.
I'm one of
the way
those
I
people,
generally do.
unfortunately.
It was very well written, very well executed, very well shot, well produced science fiction.
Yeah, no, it was
no different from any other science fiction show. Like, you take the Star Wars label off it, and it is literally undifferentiable, if that's a fucking word, from like really any other sci-fi show.
But you put
That's
that
why
Star
I
Wars
will
label
not call
on
it
it.
Star Wars.
See, I
It's
think
still
that makes
just an
sense
everyday
if you're
sci-fi
not
show.
talking about Stellan Skarsgård. The second you add Stellan Skarsgård into it, Mon Mothma, it is succinctly Star Wars. And it might be a different part of the Star Wars universe than like the fantastical aspect that we're used to jumping into all the time, but it is inherently Star Wars, and it does not lose that. It might lose it, like Andor himself, his plotline could be tossed into any sci-fi epic. But Stellan Skarsgård, Saw Gerrera, Mon Mothma, nah, baby. That's all Star Wars.
Yeah, maybe I just didn't make it to that part.
You said that you left at episode 4?
Yeah, I was done.
That's literally whenever it like
I was
picks up and
done.
gets like good.
When I saw AK-47s with a little muzzle on it to make it a blaster, I was over.
Yeah, that's a little.
I was over it.
That's a little bad. But Andy Serkis popping in. That's when it's fun. That's when it's fun for the Andor story.
I love me some Andy Serkis.
That's the man.
Other than him meeting that one guy that's like his basic partner in that prison, I'm not really sure what the point of that arc was. Okay, besides that, and he's supposed to gain confidence in a leadership role. Yeah, I don't know. Andy Serkis is fucking dope, Brooke. That's for damn sure. Just where some people might think Ahsoka's plot points were rushed, Andor's were drawn the fuck out.
Yes.
Like they
both suffered pacing
like
issues.
Drawn the fuck out. Run out. That was its biggest problem.
I agree. It's a pacing thing. The Mando season 3 needed better pacing as well. That's just like a very current Star Wars thing. They just are not pacing things well one way or another.
It needed better pacing and less dumbass cameos.
Yeah.
Late in the season.
Or at least make them make sense more, I guess. They don't necessarily not make sense. But, yeah.
In the season. And we got that. Like the last 10 minutes of the show is where that episode should have started. But
I don't know, maybe I'll have to give it a chance. We'll see. But
what, Andor?
That was a hard watch
it's really
for me.
good television. It's actually like once you get into the detail and shit, it's actually really good television. Stellan Skarsgård is magnificent.
Like I hear you, because I hear you.
Like,
The Easter
Luke
eggs
and
and that
Rail's my
shit were
favorite character in
awesome.
that motherfucker.
Yeah, the Easter eggs
Yeah,
and
the
that shit
cotton
was awesome.
crystal.
But like, it just, dude, as you said, storylines just kept going and going, going.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how
Yeah.
I feel about all these different angles on the stealing of the Death Star plans. Like, do I need to see retell me that
Yeah,
shit one more
exactly.
time, please?
I hate it too.
I don't
It's
get
just,
it yet. Can we do it one more? Let's reboot it one more.
Yeah, I just it
Yeah.
just goes
That-
on.
That's
for
enough
me.
random. That's enough random Death Star sightings too. Like we know they're building it, bro. We've always known they're building it. It's okay. We believe the Empire is building it.
Yo, you know what's funny though is like you get the casuals come in and they're like, wait, is this the first one or the second one? Because there's still people out there watching, new fans who have no idea.
Oh Lord, dude, it's just
I love Star Wars for that reason.
And that's when they do their homework. that's when you got to catch up.
let's be real. They ain't doing their homework on that. They're like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah,
no, no one's gonna tell me.
Brooke, you're right.
Okay, well,
They did that a lot for their blasters in the OT, but they did more to make them look like blasters. I guess.
Yeah.
but there's also the excuse of like, dude, it was back then. Like,
Right.
it's back then.
Yeah. I mean, think about it.
They have
1977,
all the
bro.
shit in the world now to make sure things do not look like they're from of this earth.
All we had
Like,
were muskets
bruh.
and revolvers.
Filmed in 76. So
That shit
expect, bro.
ran me up the curb. I was done. I know that is like a silly thing to be like irritated, but like that's when I was like, okay, like this. That's literally when I was like, yeah, this could be great if it didn't have Star Wars slapped onto it. That's when that comes into complete play. But you know, it's Star Wars.
It's a feel thing. It didn't like it lacked.
That's my main issue. That's my main issue for me. Is it just like I felt like I could have got this from
whatever that
some
gives
Tom
me the
Cruise
Star
thing.
Wars tingle. Yeah, whatever gives me the Star Wars tingle, Andor did not. I will not deny the quality of the show. It just like Ahsoka gave me so much tingle. Like my
I got
pants
the
were
tingle
straining.
from the tingle from the ship with the lightsaber blades that came out of the side of it.
Oh, damn right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking cool.
That shit was crazy.
I had a tingle the whole show. I
Luthen's
guess.
speech in that corridor hideout was fucking sick. I loved that scene.
Mm.
That's one of the best scenes in the show so far, honestly.
Wait, that's an Andor?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
Like towards the end of the first season, what, episode 8 or 9 or 10, maybe?
So
Maybe even
many.
11.
It's their longest series, so
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
get
a
why we
lot,
get
you know,
12
it's fun.
episodes from
I mean,
that
a lot of
age.
people are like, we needed more Ahsoka. It's like they barely filled this one.
exactly, bro. Exactly. I don't think
We
we
don't
need
necessarily
more episodes. But at least
just
have a
need tighter
consistent runtime, bro. That's what all I need. All I want is consistent runtime. Stop giving me a
Yeah.
freaking 20-minute episode and then a 40-minute. I don't like that. I just don't.
Well, it's out there. You know how reviewers got the first 4 episodes of Loki? None of those run of the runtimes for those episodes is below 45 minutes. They're all 45 to like 53 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood. That's the first 4 are. So that's fucking nice and consistent.
Yep.
So and just
Did you all see
Loki's fucking awesome anyway.
I did, yeah.
Huh?
I saw it. Yep.
Yeah.
It was this was Disney had a good week this week. Disney had a
Yeah,
good
was
week.
anybody-
this
Loki
week, at least
0
so
to
far.
100 right away. I love it.
Dude, it was great.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
great. Was anybody like, oh, I see why they were like, yeah, we don't have to do 2 episodes. We
Mhm.
know the first one is great.
No,
Like,
they did not. Yeah.
it's immediately.
I was
thought,
like-
yeah.
As soon as I realized that they were only dropping 1 episode, I was like, well, okay. They think they've got something. We'll see. But they're exuding confidence in that over at Marvel where they're still dropping Echo all at once. You know, for the other side of that.
They know their
equation.
product
So,
now. I think
Yeah.
it's really come to the fact that they finally know their product. They're like, okay, this one's probably not going to do that well. So let's make sure we're the headlines for the next 8 weeks are not just, oh, this is a show.
Isn't that just fucked up? Like they know that we know that they know.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
like okay, Marvel, you're gonna release a show all at once. Like we're not gonna think it's gonna be like we know what you're doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, but would you rather them?
Failure?
This
I
is
would
what
rather
Feige
them.
is now doing to writers' rooms, and we're finally starting to see it a little bit.
Yeah.
This is
I
what
mean, would you
Feige's
rather
doing
them
to
do what
writers
DC
right now.
did though?
I would rather them pick to something and stick with it. That way we don't speculate on, okay, this one's going to be trash because it's coming out all at once. Oh, they think this one's going to be fire because it's only one episode. They're not so sure about Ahsoka, so they're going to put out 2 episodes first. Or maybe 3. Let's change it midway. Let's wait.
I see.
No, let's
Okay,
back this
yeah,
up.
I see.
Like, just be consistent because
I see.
shit
Yeah.
with like the moving a show back and then showing 2 episodes. Like, what are we doing?
It gets confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I
It's
start to see the cracks. And
it
I'm
is
like,
sad that you can tell they know, where they're confident, and it's Disney as a whole because they're. I mean,
Mhm.
I see why they did 2 episodes of Ahsoka.
mhm.
Like I see 100%. I see why
Yeah,
they did 2.
however many episodes they did of Secret Invasion. Same thing.
They dropped 2. They dropped 2. I
Two.
think they did the
Yep.
same for Andor.
Now maybe
She-Hulk.
2 is a
They dropped
consistent. Maybe 2 is a thing they're gonna do. Maybe we're just not paying attention. I don't know.
Well, WandaVision only had 1.
Mm-hmm.
Loki the
Season
first
1 of
time
Loki
only
only
had
had
1.
I agree though.
So-
all have
Falcon Winter
different
Soldier
lengths,
only had 1.
different length
didn't-
of
they didn't-
weeks. Like that's frustrating. One show's
Yeah.
8 weeks, the next
Where-
one's 12.
Where
Like,
did they start that shit?
Honestly,
What show did they start that?
I bet
shit
you if
with
we
on
go
the
look
Marvel
back
side?
and we see that, it would be the first one that they were like, this is shaky.
yeah.
I bet you
Let's
if you
start
go
pushing
look
it up
back,
right
it's
now.
just like that.
No shit. Yeah.
But what
Did
would
Hawkeye
that
have
have been?
just the first one, or was it the first 2 for Hawkeye? Anyone
I
remember?
think it was just the
There's
first
one, I
one
think.
for Hawkeye.
First one, okay.
Dude, I'd have to.
Moon
really
Knight
think
only
about
had
that.
1. No, Moon Knight had
Moon Knight had 2.
2.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's probably when they started. It was with Moon Knight. I think that's the first one.
Which is weird
least
because
on the
Moon Knight
Marvel
kind of
side.
had a strong opening.
Yeah, Moon
I
Knight had a much
remember
stronger
correctly. Oh, Moon
opening.
Knight. Moon Knight, it was just those last 2 episodes. What is it with Marvel being unable to finish a fucking series?
I mean, Star Wars too, though. Like, I mean, we're sitting here. We said kind of the same
Yeah.
thing. Like, this was a weird episode
a
for
Disney
Ahsoka.
problem.
So they're like Childish Gambino.
They're-
Childish Gambino didn't know how to fucking finish songs in like his first album. Like, there were fire albums, but each song would be like this weird jazz outro for like 30 seconds, and you're like, is it gonna end? It's kind of like what they're doing.
That's a good point. Do y'all like that
Yeah,
everything's
yeah.
coming out like
It's like
Well,
all
well,
the
even
Disney Plus shows have like PE problems. They're just like go.
that makes sense? Like,
What were you gonna
Welcome
say,
to my
Harris?
channel. How you
I
doing?
don't know. I was thinking just because there are so many different links to the episode, time links for each episode, yada yada. Do y'all like that they're at least dropping it at 6 p.m.s now? 6 p.m. or
Oh,
8 p.m.,
that
9 p.m.,
is-
wherever you are.
I need that.
That's
9
amazing.
for
That was a
me
great
and this
step.
guy.
It just
8 for
makes it
this
feel
guy.
like they have confidence in what they're putting out, even if it's not a whole bunch, just a little bit more. It's like, this is event television. Please come watch it, kind of deal, instead of like watch it on your own time, just
Yeah.
whenever you get it, you know?
Exactly.
And it's kind of
Yeah.
like they've like
And
wonder if-
if they put out quality, that will make a difference, and the viewership will go up. Coming out at a better time, and they're putting out fire.
Yeah. They'll get that House of the Dragon, not Secret Invasion. I just read Secret Invasion over here. Definitely not Secret Invasion. House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, Last of Us, kind of like time slot. You know, people tuning in,
Yeah,
kind of deal.
appointment television.
Yes, those shows are.
Yeah,
really-
yeah.
Uh,
that was
This one?
great.
should have said a secret is crazy.
Well played, sir.
You're
Well
not
played.
wrong.
No.
Not wrong.
No.
Talk about a waste of a legendary actor right there.
Couple. Cheadle's no joke, dude. Cheadle's been
Oh yeah,
around
there's a
doing
lot
shit
of
for a minute.
there's legends in that show, and they just wasted them on that. So,
Yeah. Talking about writing doing a disservice to the actors with your writing. Jesus fuck that show. That was not worthy of Samuel L. Jackson. That was not worthy of Don Cheadle. Hell, that wasn't even
That's-
worthy of Dylan McDermott. I mean, what the
That
fuck was
wasn't
that
worthy
shit,
of
dude?
Kobe Smulders. Like,
Yeah.
anybody.
No, she got cake. Agent
Jesus
Hill got lumped.
Christ. Jesus Christ, bro.
Hey, if we can talk about cake with Hera in Star Wars. We can talk Marvel cake too. Kobe Smulders had some cake.
Oh Lord. But I mean, look, hey,
I just
They-
rewatched the first Avengers the other night just for shits and giggles. I mean, right from the beginning of that motherfucker. That fucking zip up suit with them boots. Hell yeah.
Hey, it's all shits and giggles till you giggle and shit. Just watch out, you know.
Oh, dude. At my age, that's no fucking joke. Like, I can't trust a fucking fart anymore, bro.
Oh God.
It's not
Jesus.
cool. And you all have that to look forward to. Just because I'm ahead doesn't mean you ain't gonna get there.
Hey, we
Oh,
got
dude,
technology
y'all
on our side.
You all should start doing fucking kegels and sphincter clenches now, because if you don't, you're gonna end up with some containment issues. It's gonna fucking happen, bro.
I am one with the force, and
You're
the force is with me, so I think I'm fine.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And by the way, someone said something about Jim Beat. Yeah, no. My coworkers ruined that, and I will never even watch it.
Why?
Oh,
They told me about the first fucking scene, and I'm just not here for it. That is not for me.
Oh,
dude, there's some
oh,
fucked up shit already in the
What are you
That-
first.
talking about?
Yeah.
It opens
I
up
did-
pretty, yeah.
What, Gen
yeah,
V?
I would. Yeah,
Oh, I fucking love Gen V right now, dude.
I do
Mhm.
too.
that type of
It is.
that type of shit is just not
I
for
mean,
me, bro. I can't.
Hey, dude,
I can't.
It's very extreme. It is very over the top. It is very out of pocket. It is very extreme.
You don't say.
That kind of out of pocket shit I can handle. Like, I know. it
Did you
ain't for
guys watch
everybody. Like, if there's something that-
Diabolical, the cartoon?
No, is it worth it?
Phenomenal,
No.
dude.
Really?
So
Okay.
so picture that story of how she realized her powers times like 5 or
like
6.
fucking Wrath of Khan. That
Really?
It's like other kids discovering their powers and their parents' reactions and stuff. It's like I think that group will show up later. I think they all run away together. The group that's in that cartoon. I think they're still alive.
Oh shit, that's cool.
It's worth it.
It's always looked like it was just like I'm the first person to jump on an animation. Like I'm not like anti-animation.
Bro, it's
at
gory.
all.
It's the boys. Like it's good.
It looked like it was just
Oh, yeah.
subpar. Just I guess the way they marketed it, and this makes me want to go watch it like right fucking now. Like
Yeah, it's part of the
love
universe.
Later, Saber. Have a good night, man. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, it's getting late. Oh, we're on the old
Chunkster Dams, Beth.
Can I ask
Yeah,
you boys
he's-
one
he's
quick
got
question?
He's got a pit baby.
Mm.
We glanced over the childish Gambino talk, aka Donald Glover.
I knew this was coming.
Mhm.
I have to ask, what do
are
y'all
you
think
gonna,
about
Are you going to bring up the newest L word?
I have to.
You're going
I
to talk about
have
the
to.
newest L word, aren't you?
Dude,
Right.
what do y'all think about Lando?
Is Billy D still going to be
Fuck.
involved? Because if he is, I feel like it has to be a TV show and just like the way it's formatted. Like we can't just have Billy D in a movie for like 10 minutes just to be like, I'm telling a story and that was my story. Like we need Billy D to be doing some Billy D
no
stuff.
offense to my guy. No offense to my guy in the OT, but I'm about as excited for Lando as I am for Echo. Like, they're pretty much on the same fucking level for me. Like, I don't care.
I
If it
think
comes
he.
out,
I think.
obviously I'm going to watch it to hopefully be proved
Homie is
wrong
cursed,
and
bro.
that it'll be good. But
Donald Glover's
I-
cursed. You know that, right? He's been
Cursed?
trying
I
to
don't
do.
give two
Yeah,
shits.
he tried to do Deadpool. He tried
Yeah,
to
that's
do
right.
Spider-Man. He tried like no one will let him write anything. I don't know why.
this is what pisses me off. Just give him fucking I want him to do something.
Me
But
too.
Lando is literally just an L for him. He's gonna hold an L. And to me, there's a great character. There's a great character in the Star Wars universe that black people would freaking absolutely love to hear more about. That's just sitting there because they have the original actor in their pay.
Mm-hmm.
Mace Windu. Just do a fucking Mace Windu show.
Dude.
Damn.
We would love it. You keep giving me characters I don't give a
Nerdgasm.
shit about, bro.
Give us a Mace movie. I'm too scared they're gonna screw up a show at this point. Give us a movie.
I am too.
If any of that stuff feels like Tales of the Jedi or any of that shit, like
Oh, please. Like,
they've already proven they
Yeah,
can
I'll
do
tell
it.
you, I'll take that shit. Hell yeah.
Like,
Tales of the Jedi was awesome.
so good. And as much as like I do love Donald Glover and I would love to see him come back and play some Lando stuff. It's just no one's excited for it. I would rather see like a Tales of Hu Yang and Hu Yang telling all of his stories that he has in his memory banks over a new Lando show, honestly. And like just
I think that this,
It's
if it's a show or a movie,
I think it's a show.
Sorry. movie right now.
Movie.
It's
Yeah,
a
it was
Lando?
a show,
Is it-
now a movie.
Okay.
No, it's
Uh-huh.
Lando's
So
a movie
I-
right now.
I think it's an overall bad idea if it's
Exactly.
if it's Lando, a Star Wars story,
Mhm.
and it's better than Solo, that's a problem. If it's not as good as Solo, that's a problem. Why would you even do this to
You're s-
yourselves?
And
Why would you
that's
do this
where-
to yourselves?
Scotty, we're bringing me back to earlier. They are setting my man up for freaking failure.
Yeah.
This is
1,000%.
absolutely insane.
Abort!
Hardcore.
Abort! Red
Like,
flag.
dude,
Yeah.
no
Run
one
away.
has a problem with having. Dude, just give us somebody we give a shit about, man. I don't talk to my homies about Lando. That's never happening. Look at the cookout. We're never talking about Star Wars, but look at the cookout. If we're ever to talk about fucking Star Wars, we're not bringing up Lando or Finn.
We're not bringing up the guy who's banging the droid. Like we're not.
Jesus Christ! Not only is Lando beating droid's cheeks up, he has a kid that is not confirmed. I guess not
Yeah,
confirmed, but he has
I
an
like
an asserted kid that is just random. That he wasn't. He was a deadbeat dad. So why are we glorifying Lando?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
We have
literally he's like
Samuel L. Jackson chilling on y'all's payroll. Just put him in another Star Wars. He wants to do it.
He wants it.
Oh my
He's been
god.
quoted
He's
so
been
often.
begging
He
for it.
fucking wants it, dude. He's
Yeah.
been champing at the
Dude.
bit to be Mace again for years.
And then they
Years. He's been
hoodwinked
wanting to do this shit.
him also thinking Finn was gonna be a fucking Jedi. And he over there calling him, "What's up, Black Jedi?" We all thought that too. And now they have a great chance because you could literally. I don't give a fuck that he played Lando. Have Mace. We'll have. I blanked out. Childish Gambino, Donald
Yeah.
Glover. Have him play Mace as a young guy. It
shave
would
his
work.
head, put a ball cap
Yeah.
on him. Just let him
Don't
go.
even gotta shave his head because
Nope,
man,
could be
he
either
went.
or.
Just say he went
had
bald
hair.
at one point. Yeah.
know,
They just
made a
they
conscious
miss
decision to be
opportunities
like-
all the freaking time.
It could have been just
yeah.
an aesthetic decision, like being bald will bring me closer to the Force and help me control my dark side a little bit better. Womp, womp.
Work.
Mhm.
I don't, dude. This is the one time I don't care if you make it like actual real life. He just went bald. His hair started going.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
Airport.
Just, dude.
And even back to could bring it
Lando.
back.
Yeah.
It's just there's a reason Lando starts with L in this case because it doesn't matter how they do it. It doesn't matter. It's gonna fail.
Even the
Period.
plethora of shows they've announced and then shelved and then maybe not, like there are
Mhm.
better shows on the list of the shows they're canceling and not making.
Dude, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, dude, they don't need to just see if Acolyte's gonna go ape shit or not to fucking release a young Palpatine. We are gonna eat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
David B said something about if it has Star
All
Wars
you gotta do is
slapped on it,
adapt the Darth Plagueis novel.
dude. If it has prequel characters, we're gonna eat that shit up. Mace Windu, you're telling me we're not gonna want to learn about Mace Windu, one of the most powerful Jedi ever? Come on, please.
Who was like they all thought was the chosen one before Anakin came along? Like,
Yes.
like one of the like most pivotal Jedi to exist within the Jedi's history. The only motherfucker with the purple star, purple lightsaber.
The most swagged out character.
Yup.
Give us a character that
I
black
agree.
people are already happy about. Like, we're happy about him. We wish we would have saw him more, but Jesus, give us him, not Eldo. Freaking get, oh gosh.
Yeah. So that.
All right, sorry. I had to get
Eldo,
y'all.
that's
I had to
fucking
hear
great,
it. I
bro.
know.
That was beautiful. I think you should bow.
Oh
now.
man,
That
like
was great. That was-
if there's no shit, right? Yeah, there's no. I won't. Obviously, obviously it's not nobody. Like in reality, it's not nobody. But nobody gives a fuck about that fucking show or movie.
Dude, Billy D, I'm sorry, bro.
Like-
He's even the old people that were young when he was here don't even care. Like, I asked my mom about it. She's like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
Dude, we're talking about the guy that was literally wearing Han Solo's get up. Like, stop it. No, we don't want him. Sorry.
Like, I love Billy D, but he's not even like
I mean,
a big
it-
enough
it-
actor to really bring people back either.
Oh,
The only
man.
other big thing he's ever done was play Harvey Dent in Batman in 1988. Like,
Jeez, bro.
I don't know what
Like,
other big role he's had. Like,
You make it like, dude, you figure out how to put Samuel L. Jackson in it too. Like, bro, that thing's gonna sell.
Oh
It
yeah.
has Samuel L. Jackson in it. That name says everything.
Billy D sold a lot of malt liquor.
I
Old 45, baby.
Yeah, but I mean, Samuel
I don't know
Jackson
if that's
is
the role we're looking for.
yeah.
No,
Samuel
just-
Jackson
I'm
has
just
sold
saying,
billions
he-
worth of movie
I just-
stuff.
He
Like,
had
this-
relevance beyond being Lando. Billy D. Williams was selling Colt 45 back in the day.
That's
but
cool,
still.
but not all generations know that. I didn't know that. I don't
Oh, I know.
care about
No,
that.
I'm saying that's. I'm not.
I
I
still.
know.
It's Samuel Jackson. This is Nick Fury.
Well, I mean, not even
I
that.
know.
Sam Jackson alone is the single largest box office person in history. Like, there's not an actor or actress that has gotten more box office numbers than he has. So
He's great.
bring the man
Oh.
in. Like, what are we doing? I don't.
They have him on their
Yeah, it's not
payroll
like-
too.
I mean, yeah, it's not like he's scared to work. Obviously, with that fucking total, and he was in a lot of movies to do that too. It's not like it's not like it's been like, you know, 8 to 10 big products. That motherfucker has been all over the place.
Dude, and he's still got shit. Like,
Still,
literally has a movie coming out in a month. Like, what are we doing?
Yes.
Yes, he's made billions of
Yeah.
billions of dollars. Like,
I
it's
think-
crazy.
him alone's like 8.8 billion or something. It's almost to 9 billion. Just like what his movies have gotten alone in box office.
Yes,
Like-
man. It should be a no-brainer in my opinion.
Did
But like,
some help
dude,
more
I
than others?
guess no
Prequels.
one.
Yeah.
Dude,
Prequel,
still
Marvel,
had a
all
lot
that
of-
helped, but it still equals. There's still 2 or 3 billion left. Like after that, after all that,
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
it's a lot of movies.
Sure.
But I mean, it's Jurassic Park. It's like it's Unbreakable.
Yeah.
It's Glass.
The Long
It's all
Trip
these
to
different
Night with
like.
Gina Davis. I love that movie.
Fuck, dude, people
movie's
like
just great.
fucking Snakes on a Plane for some reason. Like,
Or
dude,
Black
people
Snake
love
Moan on
this
Netflix.
guy.
That's one of his
We
best
like
ones. He
Samuel
has a
L.
bunch of
Jackson
movies.
in Snakes on a Plane. There's a difference. We don't like Snakes on a Plane. We like Samuel L. Jackson in that movie.
But
Yeah,
I fucking hate
that's what-
snakes on. I hate snakes altogether. Like, ugh. But they are great for that movie
Yeah.
because of him.
Yep.
Who let all these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane? Come on, man.
Yep.
Can we put Sam
Ah.
Jackson in an Anaconda movie? Like that'd be great. I don't know.
Dude, the guys are great. I just, again, this is
Look at that.
one of those
humongous
Lucasfilm things,
motherfucking
man.
snake.
He's great.
awesome,
Like, tell
bro.
me, the guy is timeless. He talk about black don't crack. The mother, he looks incredible. The man is still moving.
He really does.
It's just,
Especially if
I
he,
just
like,
really get upset that
if
they
he
miss
chased
out
that,
on these things, man.
I know. Like how how
Yes,
hard,
baby.
why is it so hard for them to figure this shit out? Like, I'm just an ignorant ass like wannabe YouTuber. My channel is fucking teeny as fuck. But yet, like, the ideas I come across and occasionally come up with myself, even though I'm like super not creative, which is why I don't. But like, it's insane how the stories are better outside of Lucasfilm than inside of Lucasfilm. It defies all logic. I don't understand.
Part of
not
that
even-
hindsight's 2020, and like it's easier to say what would have
It
been
is,
better
yeah.
after. But like at the same time, like what Justin was saying at the beginning, like with Ahsoka put like that, you can't tell me that idea didn't come up in a freaking writer's room. And not
Well,
and it's
yeah.
not Dave writing this by himself. It's a writer's room. Like it's just who.
Yeah, like you're supposed to have people in the room that are like, maybe we should do it this way. What about that? Test
Mhm.
it, man. Y'all are spending all this buku's amount of money. Make sure y'all get the best way possible. I just don't get why.
Feige tested
I'm an idiot.
shit out of his stuff.
I'm an idiot. I don't understand why I'm over here figuring out how you can literally make the main character of the show look even more like a fucking badass. I don't get it. Because it's Ahsoka, man. It's Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm off my soapbox.
If you guys are carrying on, by all means, but I'm falling asleep on you. I feel like it's hard for me to contribute.
Oh, it's cool,
to-
man. I'm gonna call it for the whole schmear here pretty quick. We're
Oh, I didn't
almost
mean
at 3
to-
hours, so
I
no,
gotta go
no.
see some
I was
scouts.
already
Jesus Christ.
I was already thinking about it anyway, man. I'm looking at the clock, going shit.
Well, I thought
And
we
then
were
we
wrapping
have
it up
to, like,
anyways.
call
That's
it
why I
or
had to
get up.
ask that question real quick.
Right? Yeah,
Good question.
yeah. No, fuck Lando content. We don't need that shit.
Yeah, I do
Or
agree.
Donald or Billy D, but we don't fucking need that. No one is asking for it. There's no reason to make it.
Nope.
So,
Yeah.
Not at all, bro.
and on that pleasant note, dudes, so much fucking fun. Thanks for coming in, man. Men, gentlemen's,
Oh yeah,
fellas.
thanks for having me.
Awesome. It was fun.
Thank you.
It was such an awesome conversation tonight. Tell Disney to make a window show. That would fuck yeah. That's what the fans want. And it's such. How is that not a Captain Obvious thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. This was fucking dope. I had a hell of a time. Maybe we should do this at the end of Loki, actually, since we're all watching it.
I'm around.
We didn't even talk
That'd be
about
fun as
Loki.
fuck.
Oh, we did for like 5 seconds. So
Yeah, that's all right though, because this is supposed to be about Ahsoka anyway. But yeah, we can do this at the end of Loki too. I think that'd be fucking fun. Think about it, guys. Let me know.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys in the chat for being here. Thank you if you actually watched all this shit on the replay for being here. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff that YouTube channels need you to do so we actually
Hell yeah.
grow a bit. Make sure you check out Harris over at M Cubed. Make sure you check out Scotty right there at Scotty Hot. Make sure you check out Justin at Justified MF. You got Escape FPS is here. You got other FPS is here. M Cube is Movie Money Marijuana. Money Movie Marijuana, something like that. Anyway,
Damn right.
of course you already know who my goofy ass is. So check these other guys out. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being here.
And
like
come
I
by
always said,
Sidetrack and
there's always
see
a good
Aaron
time.
on Sidetrack tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm gonna. He hasn't. Has he told you what time yet? Because he hasn't told me what time yet. All he said was
We're
gonna be a
doing
bit later.
6 p.m. British Standard Time, so I think that's not
That's 1
10
o'clock
p.m.
mine,
my
I think.
time. 12. It should be noon for you, I think. Noon or 1 for you.
5,
We'll see.
6.
7.
Shut up.
I'm just throwing numbers out there.
But yeah,
I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
that.
I'm gonna be on that tomorrow, and I'm gonna be on Marvelous Chats tomorrow night too at 5 Eastern ish. So, all right.
I'm gaming during the day.
Bring
Come
that
through.
back up.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, he explains what's going on really well, and so does Justin. That's why they're really fun to watch. Check all these guys out. Have a good rest of your weekend. And like I always say, there's always a good time to be had. You're chilling in the basement.